King Robert Baratheon, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, is dead. As the lands of Westeros descend into chaos, so begins the War of the Five Kings. Led by Robb Stark and Lord Greatjon Umber, the loyal Stark sworn swords will not break easily, bound together by their loyalty and courage. But their southward march means clashing with Sir Jaime Lannister and the Mountain himself. With their richly armed regulars at the ready, House Lannister prepares to bring the direwolf to heel. The amazing pre-assembled miniatures come ready to play and bring George R.R. Martin's characters and battles to life in vivid detail. Where do your loyalties lie? In the A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game, you are the commander of one of the great families of Westeros. You control regiments of infantry and cavalry, strategically positioning your units across the battlefield to best coordinate your attacks and accomplish your objectives. Beware, Commander, for this is no ordinary war game. With these elegant and streamlined rules, you must balance your strategic skill across the arena of warfare, politics, and tactics. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game features 5 distinct game modes, each thematically unique and highly replayable. In a Game of Thrones, control political hotspots for unique abilities and victory points. In a Clash of Kings, one player declares siege against another. In a Storm of Swords, managing reinforcements and resources is key. In a Feast for Crows, the bones of the dead instill dread into the living. In the Winds of Winter, players go after secret objectives, engaging in subtle bluffing and deception on the field. However, the choices you make are key to your success. Will you march one of your units for maximum maneuverability? Or charge headlong and strike your opponent down where they stand, risking failure? Or will you instead use one of your non-combat characters to claim a critical behind-the-scenes political maneuver before your opponent can? Each area claimed on this tactics board gives you an immediate and powerful benefit, but also potentially unlock more powerful effects from your tactic cards. The rules of battles are simple and brutal. When attacking, gather dice equal to your unit's strength, and strike at your opponent with every die that rolls high enough. But your opponent will try to stave off your attack with their own strength of arms. For every hit that goes unblocked, a soldier falls. So steel yourself for the worst. As your casualties mount, your units weaken. With every rank lost, a unit's strength is reduced. However, it is not strength of arms alone that wins the day, for the morale of your soldiers must hold firm. If the course of battle breaks the resolve of a unit, soldiers may flee. And when steel is not enough to carry the day, you can rely on the political resources of your house. With 10 faction cards and more provided by your chosen commander, your tactics deck holds a number of options to rout your foe's forces. Battles across Westeros can range from small-scale conflicts between a few units to large-scale wars with hundreds of miniatures without ever complicating the rules. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game comes with 103 pre-assembled miniatures, 9 movement trays, cards, 1 tactics board, 10 dice, 2 measuring sticks, 48 tokens, 1 rulebook, 1 scenario book. Gather arms for your king and march forward to decide the fate of Westeros. Available now. King Robert Baratheon, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, is dead. As the lands of Westeros descend into chaos, so begins the War of the Five Kings. Led by Robb Stark and Lord Greatjon Umber, the loyal Stark sworn swords will not break easily, bound together by their loyalty and courage. But their southward march means clashing with Sir Jaime Lannister and the Mountain himself. With their richly armed regulars at the ready, House Lannister prepares to bring the direwolf to heel. The amazing pre-assembled miniatures come ready to play and bring George R.R. Martin's characters and battles to life in vivid detail. Where do your loyalties lie? In the A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game, you are the commander of one of the great families of Westeros. You control regiments of infantry and cavalry, strategically positioning your units across the battlefield to best coordinate your attacks and accomplish your objectives. Beware, Commander, for this is no ordinary war game. With these elegant and streamlined rules, you must balance your strategic skill across the arena of warfare, politics, and tactics. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game features 5 distinct game modes, each thematically unique and highly replayable. In a Game of Thrones, control political hotspots for unique abilities and victory points. In a Clash of Kings, one player declares siege against another. In a Storm of Swords, managing reinforcements and resources is key. In a Feast for Crows, the bones of the dead instill dread into the living. In the Winds of Winter, players go after secret objectives, engaging in subtle bluffing and deception on the field. However, the choices you make are key to your success. Will you march one of your units for maximum maneuverability? Or charge headlong and strike your opponent down where they stand, risking failure? Or will you instead use one of your non-combat characters to claim a critical behind-the-scenes political maneuver before your opponent can? Each area claimed on this tactics board gives you an immediate and powerful benefit, but also potentially unlock more powerful effects from your tactic cards. The rules of battles are simple and brutal. When attacking, gather dice equal to your unit's strength, and strike at your opponent with every die that rolls high enough. But your opponent will try to stave off your attack with their own strength of arms. For every hit that goes unblocked, a soldier falls. So steel yourself for the worst. As your casualties mount, your units weaken. With every rank lost, a unit's strength is reduced. However, it is not strength of arms alone that wins the day, for the morale of your soldiers must hold firm. If the course of battle breaks the resolve of a unit, soldiers may flee. And when steel is not enough to carry the day, you can rely on the political resources of your house. With 10 faction cards and more provided by your chosen commander, your tactics deck holds a number of options to rout your foe's forces. Battles across Westeros can range from small-scale conflicts between a few units to large-scale wars with hundreds of miniatures without ever complicating the rules. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game comes with 103 pre-assembled miniatures, 9 movement trays, cards, 1 tactics board, 10 dice, 2 measuring sticks, 48 tokens, 1 rulebook, 1 scenario book. Gather arms for your king and march forward to decide the fate of Westeros. Available now. King Robert Baratheon, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, is dead. As the lands of Westeros descend into chaos, so begins the War of the Five Kings. Led by Robb Stark and Lord Greatjon Umber, the loyal Stark sworn swords will not break easily, bound together by their loyalty and courage. But their southward march means clashing with Sir Jaime Lannister and the Mountain himself. With their richly armed regulars at the ready, House Lannister prepares to bring the direwolf to heel. The amazing pre-assembled miniatures come ready to play and bring George R.R. Martin's characters and battles to life in vivid detail. Where do your loyalties lie? In the A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game, you are the commander of one of the great families of Westeros. You control regiments of infantry and cavalry, strategically positioning your units across the battlefield to best coordinate your attacks and accomplish your objectives. Beware, Commander, for this is no ordinary war game. With these elegant and streamlined rules, you must balance your strategic skill across the arena of warfare, politics, and tactics. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game features 5 distinct game modes, each thematically unique and highly replayable. In a Game of Thrones, control political hotspots for unique abilities and victory points. In a Clash of Kings, one player declares siege against another. In a Storm of Swords, managing reinforcements and resources is key. In a Feast for Crows, the bones of the dead instill dread into the living. In the Winds of Winter, players go after secret objectives, engaging in subtle bluffing and deception on the field. However, the choices you make are key to your success. Will you march one of your units for maximum maneuverability? Or charge headlong and strike your opponent down where they stand, risking failure? Or will you instead use one of your non-combat characters to claim a critical behind-the-scenes political maneuver before your opponent can? Each area claimed on this tactics board gives you an immediate and powerful benefit, but also potentially unlock more powerful effects from your tactic cards. The rules of battles are simple and brutal. When attacking, gather dice equal to your unit's strength, and strike at your opponent with every die that rolls high enough. But your opponent will try to stave off your attack with their own strength of arms. For every hit that goes unblocked, a soldier falls. So steel yourself for the worst. As your casualties mount, your units weaken. With every rank lost, a unit's strength is reduced. However, it is not strength of arms alone that wins the day, for the morale of your soldiers must hold firm. If the course of battle breaks the resolve of a unit, soldiers may flee. And when steel is not enough to carry the day, you can rely on the political resources of your house. With 10 faction cards and more provided by your chosen commander, your tactics deck holds a number of options to rout your foe's forces. Battles across Westeros can range from small-scale conflicts between a few units to large-scale wars with hundreds of miniatures without ever complicating the rules. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game comes with 103 pre-assembled miniatures, 9 movement trays, cards, 1 tactics board, 10 dice, 2 measuring sticks, 48 tokens, 1 rulebook, 1 scenario book. Gather arms for your king and march forward to decide the fate of Westeros. Available now.
Hey, we're back, everyone. I'm Adam Harry from Bell Souls. Thanks for joining us on Twitch today. I have Michael from CMON. Hey, man, how's it going?
Pretty good.
We had a pretty exciting day yesterday, right?
Yeah, I thought there was like a huge explosion outside. Turns out there was.
So there really was. So if you happened to catch the stream yesterday, That's kind of why we're doing this today. We were having a really good QA session, going over all the cool new A Song of Ice and Fire, awesome stuff that Michael brought, and suddenly there was a loud pop, and we didn't know what happened, and all the power was gone. Turns out a transformer literally exploded in the neighborhood, and we lost power. So apologies for being gone for the back half, but we're here today to make up for it. This game was just so hyped that the internet couldn't handle it, and boom, it went out. So we're going to play today. I don't even know what's going to happen. We might lose the whole city grid at this point. This game is so much energy going through here.
Austin, Song of Ice and Fire is coming for you.
The winter is coming. Uh-oh. So, Michael, we are set up today. We're going to show off some actual gameplay of A Song of Ice and Fire. Let's go through the scenario real quick. Some of the quick and dirty. Kind of talk about a little bit, just touch on list building real fast and kind of talk about that aspect. We went over a lot of this yesterday, but we want to kind of recap some of that. So,
yep.
So you want to start with the Starks?
Let's give the general overview. Then we'll
go
into the
sounds good.
Here. Okay. So what we have done here, we have set up one of our game modes. This is a Game of Thrones, and this is basically area control. So we are going to be fighting over these 5 control points, brought to you by Bell Brussels.
Just objective markers. They're normally a
30 millimeter base, but we decided to fancy them up a little bit here. We are playing a 30-point list. This is the starter box contents here. As we talked about yesterday, in the starter box, you're actually going to have some variety in what you bring. Here, we've chosen to run the full combat units and 2 non-combat per side. It's bringing minimal attachments because we've invested those extra points into our non-combat.
Yep.
We'll be playing some more games later, which will switch out some lists and some of the game modes.
Because there are 5 game modes, correct?
There are 5, yes.
Yeah. So we're probably going to show off 2 today, just to give you guys a taste of what to expect with A Song of Ice and Fire. So, that's a general rundown. We have some terrain. Do you want to go over the special stuff for the terrain real quick?
Yep.
Okay.
So what we have here is we have already gone ahead and set up the board before we start rolling here and everything, just to get things moving along quickly. For the terrain over here, we have a weirwood tree. So any units that are within short range of that weirwood tree are going to get +1 to their morale tests. Cool. We have a spike barricade here. Any unit that moves through it is going to suffer an automatic D3 wounds, and then that piece is going to be destroyed.
Yep.
We have a bog right here, inconveniently in the center of the table. Any enemy that charges through that is going to have to roll 2d6 and take the lowest result.
Cool. And
then over here we have a low wall barricade. So any enemy that charges through that, the target is going to get +1 to their defense saves, and then that low wall is going to be destroyed.
And again, the 5 objectives over here, these big red tokens. So you can see the big red markers there. Those are just our tokens we have at the studio. They worked just fine. And real quick too, how does a unit take one of those objectives?
So let's talk about winning this scenario. So for this one, general rules for all the game modes is anytime you destroy a unit, you're going to get a victory point. At the end of every round, you're going to get another victory point for each of these objectives that you hold. Okay. In addition to that, if you destroy a unit that is holding an objective, they're worth 1 additional victory point. Okay. Standard across all the game modes, at the end of any round, if you have 10 victory points, and if you have more than your opponent, so if you're tied, we'll go to another round, you will win the game.
Makes sense.
One last thing is you cannot score these objectives first round. You can claim them, but you're not going to start scoring points until the end of round 2.
How does a unit claim an objective?
When they move onto the objective here, they will take that token, it will go onto them, and you're not going to be able to get it unless they move off of it, or if you destroy them.
Wow, so like once you move on the objective, you have it until you move off of it or you are destroyed?
Yes.
Wow, so there's no like question on like, oh, I've got more models than you do, or range or anything. No. You have to be physically.
I've gotten there first. It's mine.
Okay.
You're not going to take it from me.
I like it. Okay.
And just to note, once again, here what we have painted resins, and we have all prototype material here. So please note these were made in our in-house thing. All these tokens are made in-house as well. So these are not by any means final production copies or anything like that.
Right on.
All right. Moving over here to talk about the actual list. Again, we have already gone through setup just to expedite things and get into things. We have the Starks led by Robb Stark, the Young Wolf, with Sansa and Caitlyn off on the non-combat side. And then over here, we have a full Lannister's force led by...
Non-combat spot over here. This is the tactics board here. And then where is Robb at?
Robb is hanging out right here with these Sworn Swords.
Yes.
And then over here, we have the Lannisters led by the Kingslayer himself, Jaime.
Jamie's right here, the lower part of the screen there, if you can see on this unit. There's Jaime. Yep.
And then Tyrion and Cersei over here on the non-combat area.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So let's draw our tactics cards. Roll to see who goes first. And get started.
Tactics cards, normally you get 3, but I have Tyrion, so I'm actually getting 4.
Yep, a little advantage for your tactical mastermind ability.
Ha ha! He's so sneaky. Cool. So, got my 4 tactics cards. Alright. Alright, looks good to me. Are we going to roll off for first turn?
Yep.
No, real quick too, normally how do you do deployment, setup, and that type of stuff? Is there anything, caveats we should know about that?
So just to go over real quick how deployment is usually handled, you would pick a game mode that you're playing. It'll list any additional rules that might go along with deployment terrain.
Sure.
But usually it's going to be, we're going to roll off to see who's going to deploy terrain or objectives first.
Okay.
If you choose objectives, then you're going to get your first chance to place one down. There's a couple caveats in how they can be placed, depending on the game mode. Then you're going to place that terrain. Most of the game modes are going to place 4 pieces of terrain down, 2 per player, and you're going to set them up across the game board.
Okay.
Once that is done, you're then going to roll off for table sides. So if your opponent has stacked a bunch of nasty terrain on one side, they might lose that roll off, and then all of a sudden they're stuck over there.
Right.
But whoever chooses table sides is also forfeiting going first. So you're either going to get your option to go first, or pick the side you deploy on.
Right.
Deployment at that point is going to be then alternating back and forth. So I'm going to place the unit down in my deployment zone, you're going to do it, and then we'll go back and forth until everything's out.
Right, and we did that kind of before the game, so we're just going to roll off because it's more dramatic.
Yep.
Because we got everything set up. So if you're on Facebook, come on over to twitch.tv/BellofLostSouls and check out the actual gameplay. If you're on Bell of Lost Souls right now watching, click the little chat button in the corner there, jump into our chat. You can ask questions. We are going to be keeping track of questions. We're going to generate a list. We're actually going to do a Q&A during the game, and then also at the end of the game, while we're setting up, we'll take a quick break and do that. So we'll have plenty of time to answer your questions as well. So come on over, twitch.tv/BellofLostSouls. We're going to get this party started, though. So let's do it. All right. Michael, dice time.
I just want to say as well, this is the final definitive answer, age-old question of who would win in a direct fight, Robb Stark or Jaime Lannister.
Ooh, I am feeling the heat right now. I didn't
pressure.
even plan on wearing a red shirt, but go Lannister. Team Lannister.
Lannister's like shawarma, right?
That's right. Let's do it. Here we go.
5.
I got a 6.
Small victories.
Gotta pay the debts. All right. So, let's see here.
So you would become first player. So
I will
you're
become
going to get the
first player. So I get the first player token.
Yes. Now we'll alternate every round. So next round, you know that I'm going to be going first.
Yeah. So there's no dice off for that. We know we can kind of plan ahead accordingly. Okay, cool. So I remember from our talk from yesterday, one of the things that the Lannisters did really well was they like to manipulate tactics. The tactics board, they like the crown and the bag of gold.
Yes, wealth and the crown area are their two main areas. For myself, it's going to be the combat zone and the maneuver zone.
Okay. Now I'm debating on whether or not I want to jump on that right now or I want to do some movement. But I think for the sake of getting the game going, I'm going to go ahead and just move some stuff around.
Sure.
For now. So my first move of the game, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to take my Lannister guards here, and I'm going to march them towards this objective right here. These guys have a move speed of 4, so a march move is double your speed first and then a pivot, versus a regular maneuver, which is pivot, move, pivot.
Right.
So
it's not as maneuverable, but you're going to just really dart across the battlefield.
Right. I want to try to claim these objectives as quick as possible. I might be a little short, but I think it'll be worth it. So I'm going to slide on up. There's my 8, which is twice my movement. And then I do get a pivot, but I think I'm just going to do that, keep stuff in my front arc. So that'll be my first move. And then these are the activation tokens, correct?
Yes.
This is going to go
just a handy little token there to keep track of what has and hasn't gone this round.
Sounds good. And that'll be my first move of the game.
Well, for myself, I believe we're going to start with young Sansa over here. And I am, in fact, going to take some areas of the tactics board here. So Sansa is going to saunter over to the maneuver area, which is going to allow a unit to immediately take a free maneuver or retreat action. No need
You're
to
going to retreat,
away.
right? Just go off the board?
Yep, I'm already just getting out of here.
Yeah!
So these Umber Berserkers are going to take a retreat, but they're really bad at following directions, so they're going to retreat toward the enemy.
Okay.
By taking a maneuver action. And their speed is 6, so they're going to get to pivot beforehand, but I don't really need to do that.
Okay.
They're just going to make a free maneuver forward, pivot a little bit, don't really need to do that either. But noting that that is not their action. That was a free maneuver granted to them by claiming that zone in the tactics board.
Nice. And that was your activation for the turn? So
yes.
This is an I go, you go system, so it's just going to be going back and forth.
And something else that's important to note is that since I have claimed the zone, some of my tactics cards might be gaining additional benefits since I've now claimed the maneuver area.
Okay. I think I'm next up, because I want to get in there and just try to claim these objectives as quick as possible. I'm going to take the let's see, the House Clegane Mountains men here, and we're gonna march towards the center objective. So I'm gonna double move. We're gonna march, so it's speed 2. These guys have a speed of 5, so they're actually a little quicker. There we go. Going 10. Straight on up. Do a slight pivot. I want to keep those guys in the front as much as possible. So, and then that's going to be their turn, so they're activated now. What did I do with their there? Okay, Clegane's House of Clegane is moving on up.
I should actually point out one other thing as well. Each of these objectives does get a random power generated by these objective cards at the start of the game. Something to note as far as a production standpoint, we've actually changed these cards to mini-size cards.
Okay.
So they're not going to take up quite as much table space when they're on there. But this is a deck of 10 objective cards. Each game you're going to place down 5 objectives and randomly draw 5 of them as well. So
we did that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of variety in playing the game because we've put down 5 variable ones out of potential 10. The location changes as well. We'll read those out, though, when we claim them, just to save some time there. Okay.
So I'm trying to get to those objectives, folks.
Yeah, I get it. You're excited, but they're mine, okay? I need to take them. This is obviously the North, okay?
Well...
You southern invaders.
That's true.
I'm going to have Rob's unit here activate.
Okay.
And I actually am just going to do something cool to dart them up the battlefield.
Okay.
So, as we talked about a bit yesterday, Rob Stark, the tactics cards that he gives to my deck are going to really enhance the mobility and the hit-and-run aspect of my army. That's going to stack on top of the already relevant mobility effects that the Starks have, such as Swift Advance. When a friendly unit, infantry unit activates, that infantry unit may make a free maneuver action. If I control the maneuver area of the tactics board, which I conveniently claimed last round, that unit gains +1 speed and may reroll any charge distance dice.
Not so fast, you Stark. I actually drew Counterplot. So this is when an opponent plays a tactics card. Roll a die on a 3+, cancel the effect of that tactics card. If I control the crown, you may re-roll this die. I'm only playing this now because, again, Tyrion starts with... I get to start with 4 cards, so I'm going to try to stop him from doing that just because I want him to stay back there, Rob.
All right.
Get in your hole. Get in your hole, Rob. Here we go. On a 3-up, it's canceled. I rolled a 1. If I had the crown, I could have re-rolled that and get another shot. So it was just a waste of a card, but I still got 3, so I'm cool with that. Whatever.
It was a nice try. Sneaky Lannisters.
That's right.
It won't work here. So, Rob Stark's unit. Now, because I have put Rob in that unit of Sworn Swords, their movement is usually a 5. Rob has the enhanced mobility ability that he's granting them, which gives them additional speed. So they're actually up to move 6.
Nice.
In addition to that, because I controlled the maneuver area when I played that card, it's an additional +1. So they're actually darting forward 7 inches here.
Wow. Okay.
Boom, we're getting right up there. And this is, again, a free maneuver they're getting from that card, so they haven't even taken their action, which they're going to do now, which is going to be a march order.
Okay.
Noting I did move them up. I did pivot them slightly because I want them to go directly forward.
Yep.
And now they're going to take their action, which is march. Twice their speed, which, again, noting Rob is moving them to a 6, so we're actually getting up there 12 inches.
Wow. That was
And
pretty
then
quick. There's a lot of movement in one turn there. I gotta watch out for those guys. I'm gonna punch them in the side. That's my plan.
I hope not.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. Let's get some more movement on here. I'm gonna keep moving up. I'm feeling pretty good about this plan. Try to get to the center. So let's take my halberdiers, my Lannister halberdiers, and I'm gonna march them as well. They go normally 5, so that's gonna be 10. Double move.
We're setting up some nasty battle lines in the front
We
here
are.
because Mountainsmen and Halberdiers are a nasty combination to deal with. But I have faith in my Sworn Swords.
I got a question too about if I positioned poorly or something like that, and I had a unit that was say behind another unit. Can you move through your friendly units, or how does that work?
So you can move through friendly units as long as you got enough distance to clear them.
Okay.
So you can't land over, top of them, but if you can get past them, by all means.
Sweet. All right. They need an activation token to show they have activated, so they are done for the round.
Okay. I'm going to have, this unit of Sworn Swords here.
Okay.
They're going to activate. And they're... No, they're not. I'm going to use some of that Lannister cunning, as they say.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that sounded dirty to say. We're Starks. We're noble, especially because it's Caitlyn.
Debatable.
Caitlyn here is actually going to move onto the crown area of the tactics
Whoa.
board. And what that allows me to do is when I claim that area, one enemy must immediately make a panic test and suffer a -1 penalty to that result. I'm going to go ahead and target Jaime's unit over there.
Okay.
The reason I'm doing this is because that is Lancer Guards. They've got some of the heaviest armor of any of the units they have, but the morale is only somewhat.
Okay.
So if I can start making them run away versus trying to kill them all, I'm just going to start getting that initial like nick damage starting early in the round.
Okay, and it is a 2d6 test.
Yes.
And I'm trying to roll over a 7 normally, but it's -1, so it's actually a minus on an 8.
So basically, anything you roll below an 8, you're going to suffer 1 wound for everything you fail by.
Here we go. I rolled an 11.
Or an 11, just to get that out of the way.
Just to get that knocked down.
Now,
Don't even care.
One of the other benefits of doing that was I'm actually stalling out my combat units' activations to kind of see what you're doing here. Now, you got the same option, so I kind of just revealed a little strategy there, but that's why I'm doing that. It's stalling off, eating up my activations on the field to give me some additional like planning.
Okay. Let's see here.
The other thing to note here, Caitlin has an influence effect, which states that when I move her onto the tactics board, I can take her card and it actually equips to one of my units of the round and gives them a buff. In this case, it's when the unit attacks, they use their highest value attack die. Not super relevant for what's going on right now because I haven't taken any damage, but I am going to go ahead and just show how that works. So she's going to get placed right there.
Okay.
So the Sworn Swords, if they were to say get damage later in the round and then somehow make another attack, they get to use more attack dice.
All right. I think I'm actually going to take over. On my activation here, I'm going to take Tyrion here, and I'm going to take the tactic area, and that lets me draw 2 tactics cards and place any 1 condition token on an enemy unit. So I'm going to take 2, and let's see here.
Lannisters really do like to make use of their tactics cards.
That's right.
That's not to say all factions don't, but you got some nasty like effects in there.
Let's see. I think I'm going to give those guys panicked.
Outriders get panicked? Okay.
Yeah.
And condition tokens will stay on a unit until the enemy chooses to expend them. They all have various effects. The panic token that he's just placed on my unit is when I take a morale test, he can expend that token to force me to reroll any of the dice. So for example, if I roll a 6 and 1, you can say, no, keep that 1, reroll that 6, and hopefully get a worse result.
Sweet.
But we're noble Starks, so we'll just roll another 6.
I have one super fast question.
Sure.
All right.
What size is the gameplay area you're using today?
4x4, and we have marked off the areas with our box right here, and then the edge of the tactics board here. Standard game is played on a 4x4 board.
Yep. Standard game, by the way, standard game point-wise is 40 points. We're playing a slightly smaller game at 30 points.
Yes, the starter box can hold between 30 to around 35 points.
Yeah.
So the starter box plus an additional unit box will get you enough to play the standard game, which is what we intend to have at organized play tournaments. But really, you can play as many points as you want. You want to play lower? That's fine. You want to play up to 100, 200 points. If you've got a massive table or something, feel free.
Yes.
All right. So that was your activation of Tyrion. Back to me?
Yes, back to you.
Okay. I believe that we are going to have this unit of Sworn Swords here activate, and they're just going to march forward 10 inches. Okay. You're moving up the center here, so I'm just going to meet you guy for guy and kind of keep that going. They are going to... No, they're fine as they are. Alright, activation token, your move.
Alright. I know you have something dirty planned for those Outriders, so...
What, my scouting cavalry? No.
Yeah, I'm worried about those guys. They're quick.
They're just going to charge directly into your halberdiers.
I hope so. I hope so. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to activate Cersei. And...
So I don't like the little combo planning that I feel is happening.
What? What?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm the reason I'm doing this is you probably figured this out by now. It won't help any of these 2 abilities don't really help because I haven't taken any wounds yet, and I haven't made it. I can't make an attack, so maybe I don't activate Cersei yet, just because. No, I should activate Cersei. I'm gonna go ahead and place her on the restore 2 wounds. I don't want you to get those, and that'll be my activation.
Now Cersei also has an influence effect when she comes that zone.
So I take a zone. And I'm gonna go ahead and give those guys no confidence just because I feel like it.
So this is going to give them a -2 to their morale test for the rest of the zone, the rest of the round.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the reasons why early I blocked off this crown area. Because that's a nasty combo of Cersei. Is put her on the crown, target a unit. Now they're suffering a test of -3. And I didn't really want to have that happening early. One of the dynamics of the game I really like, I will say, is I move these berserkers. They're going to take a march action to come up. And they can move up to 12 inches. I actually believe for the time being, they're going to move on and claim the objective.
Okay.
I don't have to move them the entire distance when they go. I actually could get them well up here, kind of past the objective here, but they're just going to sit on it.
They're going to sit on the objective. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Now again, you can't score points until the end of the second round, but I am.
But you have that one.
Yes,
that's the important part.
But one of the things I like about the game is that the tactics board does kind of evolve as the game goes on. In the early games, when you're still maneuvering around and setting up, the mobility and the crown areas, the tactics areas, those kind of are the early game important ones.
Mm-hmm.
As the game gets in the middle, they all become super relevant. And
Yeah.
then, it's just basically as the game goes, the tactics are going to shift. So zones will change in priority
Yeah.
as to what's important and what isn't.
Getting those wounds back might be really important.
Yeah,
Things
especially
like
late game when your things are getting damaged, they're nearly destroyed.
that. Right. With Jamie's unit, I'm going to march with them. So that again, Lannister Guards is a speed 4. Nothing fancy there. So marching is a speed 8, and we're just going to slide up, and that'll be that for them.
All right. And so you've activated all of your units.
I have activated all my units.
Okay. I still have 2 left to go, which is a contrast from you going first, but
Mhm.
also the fact that I've got Grey Wind in addition to my army, who came free of Robb Stark.
Yep.
So I'm outnumbering you just by a little bit. The trade-off for Grey Wind, though, while he is free and really cool, he is an additional unit that's in play, so
Yeah.
he's worth an additional victory point.
So if I can manage to kill him, it's a free point for me.
Yes. So it's a risk-reward for you, including him in the army. But, hey, who doesn't want to have a direwolf? Now, I have specifically saved my fast guys for last, because they can really maneuver across the battlefield.
Right.
I'm going to activate Grey Wind, and his direwolf ability states that he gets a free maneuver action at the start of his activation. So before he does anything else, he gets to take a free 6-inch maneuver, because that's his speed.
Okay.
So he's actually going to pivot this way. He's going to do 6, and I'm going to leave him facing that way. I'll pivot just a little bit here, because he is then going to take a march action and move 12.
Nice.
So none of the cavalry in the game, and it'll pivot like this, none of the cavalry or the fast-moving guys in the game are going to have an insanely high speed stat, because we don't want you to measure out like 18 inches and like that.
Sure.
But the way that works is that they usually get a free maneuver. So they're actually a little bit more mobile in the fact they can move, shift around, and then take the full action. As you're about to see with the Outriders here. Because they're going to do something very similar. They're going to activate.
I'm going to play a tactics card right now. This is Paid Mutiny. When an enemy activates a unit, which you just did with the Outriders, that enemy must pass a morale test or its attachments lose all abilities until the end of the round, and the unit suffers D3 wounds. If you control the wealth, which I do, they suffer -2 to the roll, and if they fail, they suffer 3 wounds instead of rolling. Now, real quick, how does the order of operations work with the cards before we do that? Because you activate the unit, I take it you're the active player, or
Yes.
how is this?
So in all instances where there would be a timing conflict or anything, the player whose active turn it is going to get the first opportunity to play cards.
Okay.
If they forfeit or don't play any cards, then it passes their opponent. So like if I had an effect that triggered when I activate, then I would need to declare and use that, and then you would get the chance to do so. In this case, I jumped it a bit because I didn't have anything to do, and then you snuck me with a surprise mutiny.
He probably knew it was coming.
Okay, so that's actually not what I thought you were going to do, but I should have seen this coming. I should have seen that mutiny coming. The sudden inevitable betrayal.
Scourge, just sudden but inevitable.
Because this is pretty nasty what's happening to me. So I have to first off take a morale test. If I fail this, then usually I would suffer penalties, but because you control the wealth area, you're actually making it worse on me.
Yes.
So I would usually have to pass the morale test as just a 6. Cersei here is giving me a -2 though, because that's her no confidence effect. In addition to that, that paid mutiny, because you control this wealth area, is giving me a further -2. So I'm -4 to my roll.
-4.
So effectively I need to roll 10 here, otherwise my guys mutinize. And
yes!
That's not good.
Mutinize.
But I have faith in the Starks. We've never been betrayed.
They have no confidence in you!
We've never been betrayed.
Nobody
ever.
betrays the Starks.
Okay, so I rolled a 5, that's a failure.
Can I pull the panic token? Do I want to pull the panic token? Because it's 50-50 to go lower?
I failed by 5. I don't think you need to, man.
Okay, that's true. Oh, because it's not a panic test. It's so it's not going to kill 5 wounds. It's just going to do 3 anyway. So
that's the important thing to note, is that morale test is your testing rolled in 2d6 versus your morale stat. A panic test is a specific form of a morale test that has a very specific result. Or effect that happens to it.
Yeah.
This one is the effect is on a failure is what's happening on that card.
Right. So
which is still pretty nasty because
3 wounds.
If I had any attachments, they're shut off for the round. And I would lose D3 wounds, but that one just says I lose D3. Now these cavalry do have 2 wounds each, so that's going to be 1 guy completely gone, and then a wound token placed on
I like it.
another guy here. And that's the effect that's happened to him, so ouch, nasty. We'll put that panic token on him, we'll carry that with him. Alright, now that one guy stabbed this guy, he's only bleeding a little bit and then he ran away. So, I guess first blood is yours.
Yeah, I killed a model. That was great. It's really cool that you can actually attack a unit without physically being in combat with them yet. So the morale mechanic is a really cool way to, like,
and I really like
get
the
around
thematics of what just happened.
Yeah.
Before the fight even begins, you can see, like, Cersei obviously approached that guy and went, hey, I'm going to kill your family. Or, you know, here's some money. Maybe, you know...
hey, stab that guy so that we don't stab you.
Exactly. And then he rode away.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I really like is we're crafting stories as we're going here.
Yeah.
And of course it starts with your, you know, backstabbing nature of the Lannisters.
I mean, come on.
But okay, on to my action. I'm going to maneuver here 6 inches, turn here, and then we're going to march forward 12 inches onto this objective here.
Nice.
But it also puts us within short range of the weirwood tree, so we're going to be +1 to our morale. So we have
Which
to go
would have been useful.
It's like, okay, well, we're a little bit better now. It's fine.
You got rid of that slacker is what happened.
Yeah, exactly. He was holding us back.
Yeah.
We have faith in our men. He obviously didn't betray us. He just slipped on this knife and this horse made it our way. Alright, so this is the end of the round. Everything's activated. Now we go to the cleanup section of the turn. Okay. We're going to clear off any of the models off the tactics board.
Okay, so these come off.
Yep, clear off the influence cards.
Okay.
We will discard whatever tactics cards we want from our hand. And then if we have less than 3, we'll draw until we have 3. Or in your case, 4, because of Tyrion's effect. I actually really like the cards I have, so I'm just going to...
I do too. I'm feeling good about this right now, so... Yeah.
We're going to clear off our activation tokens. We would check for scoring at this point, and also victory conditions.
But we don't score until the end of round 2. Also, quick question. Panic tokens, weakness tokens, how long do those stay?
Those just stay until they're expended by the enemy. But you can only have 1 of each.
1 of each. Good to know.
Last thing that happened in the round is the first player marker will shift to the next person, which would be me. And then the new round is going to begin once everything here is cleaned up and stuff. Now, we should actually explain the 2 objectives I did just take.
Yes.
Again, not getting the effect, but we said we were going to read them when I claimed them. So this one here, this objective grants 1 additional victory point when scoring. But when you score points for this objective, the unit controlling it suffers a panic test of -2. Ooh. That's why I sent the Berserkers over there, because they don't really care about panic tests anyway. Actually, they kind of do, because you've got a lot of nasty negatives, so you can make them care. Yeah. But that's the best unit for me to have taken that point. And it's worth an extra point into the round. Yeah. And then the Outriders here, when I score points to this objective, I may force an enemy to make a panic test. So yeah, how's your taste of your own medicine there, Mr. Lannister?
I don't like panic tests, though. I paid for those guys.
But let's see a brief second here, see if we have any questions.
Yeah, sure.
Can you explain moving off as far as remembering where the objective token should be?
Yes, so when a unit picks up an objective token, it's going to go with the unit. When the unit moves off the point or falls off, it's actually going to be placed in contact with them nearest the closest point it was. So they can shift around just a little bit as far as the final positioning goes. Yeah. But that's a note to keep it from like, okay, well, this guy was right here or something like that. So
sure.
You basically like, I picked it up on this edge over here, keeping it there. When it moves, they're going to drop it along there, and that's it.
So basically, use some common sense.
You said it, not me.
Okay.
Just trying to tiptoe around.
Right. No. Yeah.
All right.
We've got one more dealing with kind of how the game was designed. How difficult was it to give each faction's unit its own thematic identity, just extrapolating from the minimal information given in the book series?
Extremely. Extremely.
Yeah.
So everything that appears here has some background reference to appearing in the books in some capacity or some symbionts. There's nothing that is just completely made up, like, oh, this could never appear in there. Yeah. Keeping a note that even when our initial design stages for the units, that was all approved through George Martin and all of them to make sure that this was in line with vision of the setting. So nothing, like, we definitely couldn't make anything fantastical, or if we were going to, it would get shut down by them immediately.
There's no unit of like 18 Dragon Riders.
Exactly.
Yeah, that wasn't like a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But basically, if it has... Some units exist because there's a single line referencing them in a single book.
Right. I'm guessing you kind of look at a faction, you look at what they do thematically, and then talk about like, hey, what units would make sense for them?
Yes.
Can we find references to those units, and then kind of design around that aspect?
And one of the big things is that because this is a world full of a bunch of humans, making each faction have a different play style, but also have different visual aesthetics, while keeping in the fact that they are all just humans, was very important. With the Lannisters, you see they're very regimental, very uniform look. The Starks are meanwhile made up of a bunch of different sub-houses, the Tullys, the Umbers, theoretically Karstarks and things like that, where they each have their own visual look. But it's kind of this, mishmash when the faction comes together here. So it looks like it has a different visual look.
The people from the same house have a similar visual look, but when you mix them all together and form a whole coalition army, they're going to be kind of unique looking.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So we are top of round 2. Sorry, bottom round 2. Whatever terms. It's my first activation. I've got some choices here.
Does this
yes, sorry, the round track does go up. By the way, to note, the game will go until the first person in the round have 10 victory points, or the end of the 6th round, in which case it's going to be whoever has the most points. Something else to note, if you wipe out your opponent's combat units, that is a victory. So if you're like losing for some reason 1 to 9, and you have that last-ditch effort to just wipe them off the table, you can claim a victory like that.
Gotcha.
I will note that that strategy is not the best one to go with. Is if you just want to I don't even care about objectives. I just want to kill everyone.
I feel like you're going to lose pretty quick if you're
going to lose more games than you win.
Yeah. So if you ignore the objectives completely, it's going to be not the best. So.
Okay, Robb Stark. There's a bog in my way.
There's a bog, but he's like super quick, so I feel like
he is. But there's still a bog in my way. Yeah. Okay, I tell you what. I am going to be a little Bolsey here.
Okay,
Bolsey.
Yeah, he
did. B-O-L-S. Bolsey.
I got you.
My Berserkers here are going to declare a charge action against the Lannister Halberdiers.
Ooh. Do I have anything that I'm going to take it? Let's go for it.
That's right, take it. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this, I know that the Halberdiers have a set for charge ability. They can do a reactionary attack against me.
Yeah.
By all means, please hurt my Berserkers when they're charging into you.
I know how this works. The Berserkers basically, the more wounds they take, the meaner they get, right?
Yes.
So it's not terrible for you to charge.
So this is going to be their standard activation. I'm going to place this token here to show that. They're going to be moving off this objective, that's fine. I'm going to pivot here to face you. I am in your front arc because it is measured from the defender.
Yep.
And let's see the distance I need to cover. It's fairly high, but again, I just want to do something cool. Okay, we are just about 10 inches away, so I'm going to have to roll a 4+ here. It's pretty risky, and I don't lie on, some Lannister dogs.
What?
I don't have any cool cards here that are going to help me reroll in this, so I'm just putting my faith purely in this die here. Yep.
On a 4+, this is a successful charge.
Yes.
Okay. And when you measure that, you measure closest to closest, I take it? And then you can slide in. We'll get to that, hopefully, when you roll this 4+, right?
Yep. Hopefully. Oh, it's good to know you're on my side, too.
I just want to see some bloodshed. Okay.
4. Boom. Got him.
Okay.
Unless you have anything nasty.
Well, not right now. So.
Okay. So we know the distance. I'm moving forward my full 10. Yep. And basically the full effects of how charging works is I would now move this unit 10 inches forward if I contact an enemy.
Yep.
Which I did. Now I'm going to position myself to either be 50% or 100% aligned with them.
Okay.
Now, the difference on that is I put myself 100% here. I've locked both our units in the front, so no units can engage me from the front there either.
Okay.
You have to come around to my sides. Or I can engage you to 50% either side, in which case I'm leaving room for another unit to come up and also positioning myself a little bit better. So I'm getting a free little bit of extra movement when I do contact you, which is beneficial for me. In this situation, I'm actually going to line up, I don't know if this is going to really help me here. If I line up to 50%, also noting that we have our little arrow markers here to help that, I'm going to see here, you're still going to be able to get me in the flank there, but the Mountainsmen, they will be in my side arc as well. But you know what, if you want to devote all those resources to coming after my Berserkers, hey, you know what, do it. Anyway, I completed a charge there. The objective will drop where it was.
Yep.
And you got your option to use your set for charge ability.
I think I am going to use the set for charge ability this round because it seems thematically appropriate that this crazy pack of Berserkers is charging these Halberdiers and they're going to get ready to take on some damage. Maybe they don't realize it's just going to make them angry. Yeah, so I get my full attacks, right?
Yes.
So this is my order for the charge. So this is the token that represents the order for them.
Yep.
So I'm going to place that on the unit.
Well, no. So you can actually keep that on the card.
On the card. Okay.
And either you just place the token on the card to show you've used it, or take it off to show that it's no longer available this round.
Okay.
Orders are an ability that is available once per round for the unit. So Then it refreshes at the end of the round as well.
And it will be 7 swings. So there's my 7 dice. And let me just double check here. So I'm hitting you on 4 pluses. And I have Sundering, which is -1 to your defensive saves.
Right, so my already kind of pitiful defensive of 5 is going to a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to suffer more wounds.
And is there anything that I can do? Let me see here. Let me just double check. I think... No, that's okay. Here we go.
Alright.
4 ups.
That's pretty good.
I think... Wow! Your dice are loaded. These are his dice. These are his dice.
But you're using them.
I am using them. All right, so 5 of them. So 5 wounds go through with a -1.
Alright, so my defense save is usually a 5, so I would roll 1 die for each of the your hits. 5 dice. I'd usually need 5s, but again, you have Sundering, so I'm -1. So I need 6s here.
Brutal. Picked up 1.
So I lost 4, which is the prime number that I actually wanted to lose. Because now I have a fully destroyed rank, and they actually are going to gain more attack dice because they have one of the few units that actually does that. But I was just attacked. That did state it was an attack action. So I now need to make a panic test on me.
Okay, yeah.
So now, luckily, the Berserkers, they don't really care too much about the mental side of things.
Yeah.
So they're 5+.
Seems legit.
Still a dangerous thing against Lannisters, though, because you have all kinds of nasty negative effects.
They do. We do.
Now, I'm going to ask if you want to play any of those now, either, because I've got no cards to play with this.
Let's see. Right now, I think I don't really have anything I want to do.
Lancers always have a trick waiting.
They do. I do have some cards I could play. I'm choosing not to, because he probably knows what cards I have now, because I just said that. But also, I want to try to set some more stuff up later in the turn.
All right.
Play the short, long game is what I'm doing now.
So 5+ for me. Okay, they actually failed by 1. So they will lose another guy. And I don't know if you have any effects that trigger off of me failing. Well, I know that you could. I don't know
yeah. Not right now, but you get to swing now.
I do get to make my attack now.
Yeah.
And I'm actually now rolling 9 dice because they did lose a rank.
Yes.
I'm also going to go ahead, and you know what? I'm going to make this just as nasty as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play Northern Ferocity.
Ooh.
When a friendly unit makes a melee attack. This melee attack gains Vicious, which is you're going to be -2 to your panic test. Because I'm just coming at you with that just nastiness. If I controlled the combat zone and attack sword, you'd also be panicked. But I don't.
Fair enough.
So anyway, let's go on to this attack. It's going to be 9 dice hitting on 3s with Sundering. So, you know, trade blow for blow there.
Okay.
But because I charged, I also get to reroll my attack dice.
Fair enough.
So I'm really hoping to deal some damage here.
Yeah, this is going to sting.
I'm also going to note that the Berserkers here are the most expensive combat unit on this table here.
Right.
So it seems like they're doing a lot of damage. It's because I paid a lot of points for it.
Right on. Right on.
Okay. That is going to be a total of 7 hits at a -1 to your defense.
I'm going to play Wealth of the Rock now. This is unit gains +1 to their defensive saves rolls this attack.
So basically you're canceling out my Sundering.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's... These guys... they have a 4 up, so it's respectable. Would have gone up to a 5 up, but I kind of want them to hang out for a bit because that was a lot of hits. How many was that exactly?
That was 7.
7. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. Here we go. And now I've canceled out your Sundering, so I'm only on a 4 up.
Yep.
So here we go. Oh, not bad. I lost 3, so not quite a rank. And you pull. You can pull from right to left, right?
Yes.
Realistically, you can pull from anywhere in the rank, but it works better.
For specific, you want to keep to order of operations than it is from right to left.
Cool. All right. So that was that.
But now it's time for your panic test, and you're suffering a -2 to that because of the Vicious card I played.
And real quick too, this card does fully set if you control the Wealth tactic spot, also automatically block D3 hits, which I didn't at the time, but that's okay.
And that's again the theme that people should be picking up on is that the tactic zones will turbocharge your cards. So
make them turbo killing, right?
Yes, turbo killing. That's a callback from yesterday.
That's
I get that reference.
All right, so I'm normally a 7. I'm at -2, so I need a 9. I need
anything
to roll
below 9, you're losing an additional guy as they're running away.
I rolled a 9. I rolled a 9. These are his dice. I blame him for this.
We're Lannisters. We just want to stay and fight. Okay, you know what? That's fine. What I've done is I've moved my Berserkers up there into a really bad position. Man, I'm such a bad tactical commander. Oh, wait! Rob Stark specializes in hit and run tactics.
Who would have thunk it?
Hit and run. After a friendly unit completes a melee attack, that unit will make a free retreat action and automatically counts as rolling a 6 for their retreat distance.
What?
So usually when you retreat, it's your speed plus a d6. It's like a reverse charge, but here it says automatically counts as rolling a 6. Now, if I targeted Rob Stark's unit, not only am I getting that effect, but the unit that I'm breaking away from becomes weakened.
Wow.
But he's over here.
That's
but
right.
His Berserker is going to dark back 12 inches.
Wow.
And that is a direct move back. I'm going to pull them back to just right around here, 9 inches or so.
Okay.
I think that's plenty.
Yep.
And then they're going to go, okay, come at me, bro.
Right on. Oh man, that was pretty mean. I think I'm going to activate my non-combat units first.
All right.
And I'm going to take Cersei, and I'm going to go right here. And the question is, do I keep picking on those Outriders or not?
Man, they've been through enough. Come on.
I don't know. I kind of want to keep kicking them while they're down, you know? Because they do have a panic token, and we are the Lannisters. I'm trying to take any advantage I get. So she also has this no confidence.
Yep.
So these effects, what order are they going to resolve in?
All right, so since you control both effects, you're going to choose the order in which they resolve in. So you could choose to resolve the crown and make me make that panic test, or the smarter play and put Cersei on you and then make me have a negative that test.
I think I like
Leave
that
them
one
alone.
better. Yeah,
Haven't
no,
they suffered enough?
No, they have not suffered. I'm going to see if I can kill this whole unit without ever fighting this whole unit. Okay.
It's a very Lannister way of doing things.
Right? Just keep paying them off.
Yep. Or threatening them.
Yep. And just to be a super jerk about it, I'm going to play Fealty to the Crown as well. So the tactics card, when an enemy unit makes a panic test, if you control the Crown, which I just did, the enemy suffers -2 to their roll. Each model removed by the test restores 1 wound to a friendly infantry unit in short range of that enemy. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody in range, but I'm okay with this because this is now a -6.
So this effect, yeah, it says -1, -2, -2, so -5.
-5. Ouch!
So basically what that effect of that card is doing is that you're threatening my guys so much they're actually joining up with you because you're swearing loyalty to the crown.
I got you.
But there's no, so that's a dual purpose card. It
Yeah.
can help heal your unit and deal damage to them.
So if
Very
like my
powerful.
halberdiers were over
Yes.
there, it would have been really handy. But I'm okay with this plan.
Now this is an important thing to bring up as well, that these are all modifiers to the dice roll. So let's say I rolled a double once here.
Yeah.
The lowest I can roll is a 0 because you can reduce my dice down to a 0. So
Okay.
There's no such thing as like, oh, you rolled a -4, so you're losing 10 guys. Like, no.
That doesn't
Basically,
happen. Okay.
Whenever you're making a panic test, the very quick reference is that the most models you can ever lose is your morale stat.
Okay, makes sense.
In this case, it would be a 6.
Well, it's the most wounds you'll take, right? 'Cause
yes,
it's not actually.
yes, you're correct. That's the most wounds I could take is the
Because they have 2 wounds each.
Yep.
So yeah.
Which means you could theoretically wipe these guys out now with my -6. So
I'm
there's
trying.
no chance. I know you are. These guys are like super low wounds and glass cannon, and
I know.
hitting their 1 weak point and stacking a bunch of effects.
You told me this is how they were supposed to work.
I didn't expect you to like listen.
Well, you know.
But this is a good example here of, let's look at everything you've used to make this happen. You put a panic token on that unit. You used an activation for Cersei over here. You took Cersei specifically and took a specific point. You played a tactics card. So you're dumping a good amount of resources into making this happen.
Sure, and Cersei is 4 points, right?
Yes, she's almost the same cost as this unit. They're 6-point units, so
yeah.
you're using a 4-point to kill a 6-point plus other resources and activation.
I'm spending tactics cards. Like I'm trying to make this happen on purpose. So.
All right, we will prevail though. Come on, box cards. Or a roll 6, so that's going to be effectively a 0. 6 wounds. That unit is going to be destroyed.
And I didn't even get to spend my panic token.
I mean, you still can if you want me to reroll something.
No, I'm good.
Come on.
I'm good.
All right. That drops. Cersei has made this entire unit just run away, so we can stick her back over here.
They should have mutinied up. They should have mutinied up.
That is going to be a victory point for you because the unit was destroyed.
Hey! Where do we keep track of victory points?
So we have victory point tokens over here, and you're just going to take one of those. Noting in the final box, we actually have values of 1 and 3. Here we only have the 1s.
Okay.
So just noting that, so I'll put these guys off over here in the shame pile.
Shame pile. Shame.
Quick question,
shame.
since
Yes.
we're kind of talking about cards.
All right.
Are there symbols on the cards that match the symbols for the abilities to kind of help keep things organized and folks keep track of things?
I'll show you real quick. Let me. Can we switch to the front camera?
Yeah.
Let me try to show a card. We showed off a lot of these yesterday too. If you want to recatch that show, you can kind of see right there. That's got the crown. If you control the crown, that enemy suffers -2 to their roll. That icon matches the tactics board icon. So that's how you kind of keep track of things.
Yeah.
Really easy to remember. This is my first game, and I'm keeping track. So
I mean, technically, you can call them whatever they want. You could say that well,
power, crown.
Yeah, power, threaten, whatever you want to call it. They have official names, but
yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think that was a fair trade of losing an entire Outrider unit for losing 3 Halberdiers.
But that was my activation, though. I had to spend my activation to do that.
You did, and I'm very Not happy. Not happy at all. I'm going to take their card over here as well and just put it in
Shame, shame. Walk the streets of shame.
Okay.
That's later, though, right? This is timeline-wise.
Yep. All right, let's see what else we want to do here. Let's see how it is. All right. Sansa.
Uh-oh.
Sansa, dear, I need you to do something for me. She's going to move on to the tactics zone over here, which allows me to draw 2 tactics cards and place a condition token on an enemy unit. I'm going to draw my 2 tactics cards here, see what cool stuff I got. And then I am going to go ahead and put a vulnerable token.
Oh, no.
Which allows me, I can expend this to make you re-roll your defense saves. And I'm going to go ahead and place that. Where do we want to do this? So many cool options. We're going to place this right over here on these mountains men.
I need those guys to not be terrible, though.
Because I'm planning. I'm planning.
He's got wheels within wheels, huh? Okay,
yep.
Let's see here. So I have a question on Tyrion.
All right.
He's got the tokens.
Just ignore that.
Well, hang on. For the folks at home, how would that trigger? Do I place him on the tactics board and then I can spend a token, or can I pull a token whenever?
His Tyrion's specific effect says he starts 2 order tokens on him, and his effect also states at the start of any of your friendly turns, you can remove an order token from him and get that cool effect.
Okay, so it's at the start of the turn. I'll remember that for next time.
And it's unique to each effect, so it'll stay on there when it's used.
Gotcha.
There's a wide variety of what the non-combat characters can actually end up doing. So,
yes.
But all the abilities in the game, all of them, will define fully what they do on the card.
Yes. So there's a couple of things here I'm thinking about. I could put Tyrion on the wealth location. I could get back the 3 ones I lost and just laugh maniacally. And then I could also remove the vulnerable token here.
You could.
Or if I don't know if this is the smartest play, I could also move him onto the maneuver spot and get a free movement out of it.
You could.
And in doing so, that would get my unit in a better position to possibly charge those guys. Now, charging them, again, maybe not the best idea because killing them makes them do more damage, but they're pretty wounded right now. You know, they've lost 5 models. So it's kind of...
And you're going to have to deal with them eventually.
Right.
You're going to choose the battleground or I'm going to force you to.
Right.
You could just charge them with the halberdiers as well. I mean,
that's true. I could charge him with the halberdiers, but then Robb Stark would definitely get the side charge.
Maybe.
That maybe.
I mean, you do have the protection of that bog.
That's true. I do have this bog keeping me safe.
Yeah, that bog is actually turning out to be really annoying to me.
hey, I mean, you know, part of the whole putting the stuff on the board. So, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I am going to do the smart play and use my Lannister money to buy me some more reinforcements. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to restore 3 wounds on this unit, because Lannisters. So they're going to come right back, paying the gold. And I'm going to remove 1 condition token. Now, is that the same unit? Or?
No, it's any unit.
Okay, so boom. Take that, weakness.
Canceled out my cool little effect there.
I did.
Oh, well, that's fine. All right.
And that's my activation. Now, I did jump on those pretty quick, and I left you 2 slots that you can really take advantage of, though. So maybe this wasn't the best call either. So
there are some pretty good slots there.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? You know, we're Starks. Come on, let's get in there.
You got to get in there.
And here's the thing. I will fully admit, objectives. Don't forget about objectives. They're the most important thing in this game mode. Don't just get wrapped up in charging the enemy. But I have some sneaky tricks here. Hopefully. And reliant on a lot of die rolls. But this unit of Sworn Swords, they're going to charge into your... options. Because I was going to go into the Mountainsmen, but then unfortunately now they're no longer weakened. So that's a bit bad for me. But I'll tell you what. I'm not going to do either of those. Caitlin is going to activate and take the maneuver area of the tactics board. She is going to not influence this unit. She's actually going to just let them do their maneuver. I'm going to use her influence effect afterwards.
Okay.
They're just going to take a maneuver to come right up here onto this point and pick it right up. Alright. Come at me, Lannisters. This one here is when I score points for this objective, 1 enemy becomes vulnerable and weakened.
Ooh.
I'm going to then actually influence that unit because some bad things might happen to them. So her effect is that when she influences a unit, I can pull off a condition token. They have none. But while they're being influenced by her, they always roll their maximum attack die value.
Oh, that is really good. Yeah. Ugh.
So I'm expecting them to maybe take some wounds here in the round, but they can still keep fighting.
Possibly. Let's see. I know objectives are also important, and reading this objective card, when you score points from this objective, one friendly unit may make a free maneuver or retreat action. Excuse me. I think I'm going to activate these guys, which is my first activation for my units this turn. So
this has been a very political round.
Yeah, using what I can, right? So these guys have a move of 4. Pre-measuring, is that an option in the game?
Oh, absolutely. You can pre-measure anything at any time for any reason.
So I'm going to check. I don't think I can make it all the way to that.
That it's sad that that guard speed of 4 is actually what's keeping them away. That a 5 would have gotten there.
Right.
Oh well.
Yeah, and I'm not in position to be like, oh, I'll just march, because I don't want to march forward. So I am going to... The guard speed is holding me back, but that is okay. We're going to pivot, and then move up, and then I'm going to pivot again, just to be ready for those berserkers charging at me, I think. Or they may come at me, I don't know, we'll see. So, there we go. That'll be my turn. Or my turn. My activation for those guys.
Alright, Greywind, you have a very important mission, dear boy. You're going to go and park right on this objective.
No!
And hold it for life.
Greywind's going to win him the game. I'm calling it now.
Now, I want to note as well, Greywind there has a morale save of a +2, so by all means, please try to bribe my direwolf and threaten my direwolf, so...
Who wants a milk bone? Who wants a milk bone?
If you stack a bunch of negatives on him and stuff, then sure, I could roll 0 and then fail by 2, but...
That's fair. That's fair.
He doesn't understand the whole bribery concept.
Milk bone. He wants a milk bone. Alright, I'm going to activate my other unit of... Oh, man. Hang on. Do I dogpile? I could try to dogpile this unit right now with Rob. I can hit him 2 guys, be pretty mean. But I think I want to... I'm thinking I could move this unit onto the objective, and I'm pretty sure I'm in range to do so. However, I want to leave that option open in case this combat doesn't go well. So I think that's what I'm going to do right now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna charge. We're gonna charge Rob with the Mountains Men.
All right.
This is the one you were waiting for.
Well, something was gonna happen.
Let's check speed 5.
You're within minimal charge distance, so there's no way you can fail this, even with the bog forcing reroll. But if you roll a 1 on a charge, it's a disorderly charge, and you're going to suffer some negatives. So you're still going to need to roll. In this case, you can actually just roll 2 dice, because you're going to roll regardless.
I can speed roll.
If you roll a 1, then...
I'm good.
No ones. And so they're 5+ on like those dice the entire game.
You brought them.
Can we switch?
Okay. Alright, so I make the charge, and I'm going to go 50%. So I'm going to move them up, and I'm going to go 50 right there. So leave myself open for these guys. So these guys wouldn't be able to make that charge anyway, right? Because they can't get to the flank.
No, they wouldn't be able to. Well, they could, because you can still pass through friendly units as long as you don't end their move on top. But it would be, you'd have to get some pretty nasty clearance there.
Right.
I don't think they actually have the speed to do so.
Not a problem.
4-inch movement? No.
What? 4-inch movement? Yeah. It is definitely holding back. So I've just charged. That was my charge action. I don't have any other shenanigans right now, so it's just going to be some fighting times, huh?
All right.
So
I mean, that's your best unit for doing so.
Right. So I have 8 dice on this attack, which is pretty gnarly. And let's see. They hit on a 3-up, which is great. They also have critical blow, so 6s cause 2 hits. And vicious, so you're going to be -2 to your panic test.
Yep, that unit is all about just dealing raw damage.
Yeah.
So go figure they follow the mountain.
I like them. Here we go. Alright, so I have 3-ups, so, and I charge so I get to reroll.
Correct.
So my 2 misses. Woo! That is dirty.
Jeez. Alright.
So real quick too, when I reroll, there's no stipulation that says reroll misses, right? It's just reroll.
Correct. So if you actually wanted that situation, you could reroll any of your dice to try to get more 6s.
So if I just wanted to go fishing for 6s, theoretically you could, but
I will say that like, mathematically, that's a bad play.
Yeah.
But
my plan is also roll 6s.
If your plan is roll high, win game, then by all means.
Hey, works every time. No. All right, so I had 3 6s. That's going to be 2 hits each. And then the other 5 attacks, that's 11.
Ouch. Okay, I'm going to need to borrow one of your dice.
Please, by all means.
Just one. Just a
one.
good one, please.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Here's a 6.
So my save is a 4+. We do have some shields, but...
Yeah, but we have... Oh, it's just, man, it's Vicious's the panic test, not to their armor save.
The critical blow is enough. Stop.
Yeah, stop.
All right, 4+. Dice don't fail me now.
Here we go.
That wasn't terrible.
Hey. Pretty good.
Still 5 dead, but that's about average what we're going to see here.
Yeah.
But we still have that fairly nasty panic test to do. So 2 dice. I'm suffering a -2 to this. Their morale's a 7, so anything I roll below a 9.
Ooh. Yeah, ooh. There it is. 7. So it's...
I'm sorry, well, that's an 8.
8. So one more
guy ran away.
I'll take that. That's pretty good.
All right, guys. I'm going to put you off over here.
Shame. Oh, not yet. They're not.
Shame.
They're not the walk of shame yet.
We're fine. We're fine.
He's got Rob. He's got some tricks.
I do have a bunch of tricks. So is my activation?
It is now your activation, yes.
I'm going to activate Rob's unit.
Okay.
And they were none too happy about that. They're going to attack, and I'm going to play another Northern Ferocity, which is going to give you a -2.
Ooh. I am going to...
What?
Deadly Riposte. So when you make a melee attack, for each miss, that enemy suffers 1 automatic hit. If the attacking unit, if they're attacking a unit containing Jaime Lannister, they suffer +2 additional automatic hits. Jaime's over here though, but I feel like that's pretty cool. That's one of Jaime's specific commander tactics.
Yep.
So
now the other cool thing I'm doing is activating their Stark Fury ability, which is in exchange for suffering D3 wounds after this attack is done.
Yeah.
I'm going to gain +1 to hit and critical blow. So here's a taste of your own medicine. And because I put Caitlyn here because I planned ahead, they're rolling their maximum number of attack dice. So they would have usually actually dropped down to 6 at this point because they're down a rank, but now they're back to 8 because we remember the House Tully words of family, duty, and honor.
Ugh.
8 dice, 3+, 6s,
it's gonna
causing
sting.
2 hits. Take down some mountains, men.
Mountains, men. Ooh. He's not the only one rolling 6s, folks. That's
So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll actually give you your die back here. Here's a 1. Roll
okay,
a 1.
sure, yeah. So 6, 7, 8, 9 dice. Saves. The Mountains Men do have a 4-up save. So here goes nothing. So for each miss, did you have any misses?
Oh, I did. I had 2 misses.
So those are going to be auto hits. Yeah. Take that. Here's my saves. Not the best. Ooh, brutal. I failed 6. So, ouch.
And then panic test and -2, and then we'll resolve the nastiness you caused back to me.
Yes. So there's 2, 4, 6 guys. Panic test at -2. So they are a 7 base, so I need a 9. Anything under a 9. I got a 7, so that's 2 more guys.
Oh, that's
ouch!
super relevant, though, because that's reduced you down to 1 rank.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm suffering 2 hits. I'm going to go ahead and resolve those.
Okay.
I failed both, so hey, I'm down to 1 rank.
Haha! Any other nasty tactics you want to try to pull?
Sorry, that look there. It's just, So, this is an interesting thing. We had 2 effects that were resolving at the same time. My Stark Fury and your Deadly Riposte. Okay? Because this is happening, my effect will happen before yours. So, despite the fact that these guys have been reduced down to 1 rank, which would usually mean I'm immune to my...
because of the trigger. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But, 2 more guys just got overkilled.
So the Stark Fury is when you use that ability, at the end of it, you lose
At the end of
D3 guys.
D3 guys. If I only have 1 rank left, though, then I ignore that.
But it happened, it triggered before all of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So just knowing that. But, hit and run, because we are the Young Wolf.
Yeah.
And I had a second one. And that is the unit that contains Robb Stark. So the enemies I disengage from are going to become weakened.
Oh.
And I'm going to get to fall back my full distance. Now, by doing so, I am actually going to be leaving this objective here. But you know what? I only have 2 guys left, and I think it might be a good time to do that.
One of which is Robb Stark.
One of which is Robb. So we are going to fall back. We can fall back up to 12. I don't need to fall back quite that far.
Okay.
So we'll drop the objective right here.
All right.
And then we will get to reposition ourselves afterwards. So here and here. There we go. That should line up to where you were. Good.
I've got some questions whenever you guys are ready.
I think this would be a fine time to take some questions. Actually, at the end of this round, we'll do that because we've got. I think
I've got 2 more activations.
Yeah,
and we've got
I've got 1.
Okay,
so
sounds good.
more questions. We will get to them in a minute. That was pretty good for me. I think I'm going to go ahead and let's move these guys. So I'm going to pivot, and then they have a move speed of 4. So they're just going to march on up, and then I'm going to pivot again. Do they pick it up now?
Yes.
Okay. So pivot, boom. Okay, cool. That will be their activation. Do you have one more?
I do. I've got this unit of Sworn Swords over here.
All right.
And they're actually just going to take a march action, moving up here,
Dun, dun, dun.
and here, and pivoting just to face here. Change places!
He wants me to charge him. He wants me to charge him.
I want the objective. The charging thing was kind of a secondary. We had to protect, the young lord over
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I think you don't typically see halberdiers charging, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to declare a charge that for this activation.
So you'll be going through this bog here.
Yeah, it's -1, right?
Is roll 2 dice and take the lowest.
Take the lowest. Got it.
So here we see that you are going to be just over 6 inches away, so you're going to need to roll a 2.
2.
So basically don't roll a 1 on one of those dice.
Ah! Okay. So what? I failed to charge. What happens?
So you're going to move the distance. In this case, it's going to be a total of 6 inches.
Yep.
You're just over 6 here. So you're going to move directly forward toward me,
right.
stop short, and because you failed the charge, you're going to suffer a panic test.
Oh, no. It's that bog water, man.
Yep.
Tastes funny.
And you will stop at least an inch away.
Stay an inch away. Okay, cool. All right, panic test on a 7. I got a 7.
Jeez.
6 and a 1. I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
Fine.
They fail to charge because they're halberdiers. They don't charge. They're like, what's that order?
All right, I believe that's everything's activation.
Yes.
All right, so let's go over the scoring right quick, and then we'll take some questions.
Okay.
So objectives, you are sitting on this one over here. So sorry, proper order of activation.
Yes.
We're actually going to alternate scoring these objectives because the effects do matter.
Okay.
Because I'm active player, I'll resolve one of mine first.
Okay.
So here I can have, if I score points to this objective, I'll get 1 point. And I can make an enemy vulnerable and weakened.
Ooh.
Which is super nice and super useful. I'm going to do that and give it to the halberdiers.
Yeah.
Now you're going to resolve one of yours, which will be this one.
I'll probably be this one. When you score points from this objective, you may restore up to D3 wounds to a friendly unit. I do get an objective point. D3 wounds. I'm going to put them on the one unit that has taken wounds. Shockingly enough. So, okay. I get 3 of my mountains men back. Boom. I'll take it.
And now resolve mine over here. When I score points on this objective, you may force one enemy to make a panic test. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say your mountains men. Go ahead and just see if they run away.
All right.
This is why the resolving order does matter.
They're on a 7 again. Here goes.
Yes!
Oh my goodness!
Run away!
That is, that's a 2, so I lose 5 models. I'm down to 1. Well, no, 2.
Oh, 2.
2. I'll take that. I mean,
that's why order of operations matters, kids.
If that had happened first, those guys would have been gone.
Theoretically, that could have wiped out the unit. So,
Wow.
you're right.
Wow.
All right.
See, he gave me all the 1s back now, so.
Oh, that's my plan. Been switching out the
Yeah,
dice.
he switched them all.
First player will move to you, but now we're going to take some questions. Oh, sorry, we need to clear off the tactics board and the influence effects.
I'll go ahead and do that.
And redraw our tactics card. Sorry, we had a whole bunch of things left to do.
Okay. So clear the board.
I'm keeping the one card I have in my hand. So I'll draw.
Okay, where's Cersei's card at?
Our first question. I assume Siege will not be played today due to limitations of the terrain available. With Siege, is there any update on single figures on the walls, and how will that function?
So we have actually revamped that scenario just a bit, and we actually will have a Kickstarter update about that, I believe, sometime next week or so. So I'm not going to spoil anything there, but we'll go over that in very big detail next week. No quotes on that, though. Where did Cersei disappear to?
She might be over there with the... Did you move him underneath?
Oh, with the cavalry? Might have.
She ran off with the...
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Next question.
Yes.
Yeah.
If a unit gets activated and is behind a friendly unit, can they move through that unit, or do they have to navigate around?
As we talked about earlier, units can move through friendly units as long as they have enough distance to clear the base.
They have to clear it, that's the big thing. But yes, you can move through friendlies.
Yep.
I found Cersei. Okay.
Okay. So I believe we are ready to go for round 3.
Bum, bum, bum. So, quick count. I've got 2 VPs. Michael has 2 VPs.
Yep.
We're completely tied. Alright. I have first player, though, right?
You do.
Oh, boy. Oh, draw tactics cards. Gotta do that. Gotta do that. I have 1 tactics card, so thanks to Tyrion, I'll draw 3.
As they say in the North, come at me, bro. I think that was said in...
they wear sweaters and say that, right?
Yeah, I think it was Clash of Kings that was said.
Yep. Ooh. Alright. I want to get some wounds back. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna place Cersei on that one and get 3 wounds back from my mountainsmen. That'll put me back up to 2 ranks worth of dudes, right?
Yes, as long as you have at least 1 model remaining in a rank, you have that rank.
Okay, cool. And I will remove a token. So, real quick, the conditions are Panicked, which is reroll morale, Vulnerable, which is reroll defense, and Weakened, which is reroll attack die.
Correct.
So right now these have reroll attack die, correct?
And that one has a reroll defense as well.
Yes. So I think I am going to take the attack die from these guys. So the Weakened will be removed from that unit.
All right.
Just leaving a nice big come charge me unit right there. All right.
Who does Cersei want to influence?
Oh, I think let's go ahead and hit the mountain, the berserkers. I know that's probably maybe not the best thing.
Well, it's making them like that almost impossible to fail, at least within the realm of I can do something to them.
Right, right. That's what I'm hoping for. So,
Caitlin. She is going to claim the maneuver area of the tactics.
Not so fast.
What?
Intrigue and subterfuge. When an enemy non-combat unit activates, that unit loses all abilities until the end of the round. I don't control the crown, unfortunately, so that also negate any bonus they would claim doesn't happen. But
that does mean that I do lose her influence effect.
Which was important.
It is. You don't have any idea how important it was.
Oh, I have an idea.
But
a very, very slight idea based on your facial expressions that was important.
So I'm choosing to target Rob's unit. Rob has the rapid assault ability, which is if they're targeted by maneuver, they can instead make a free charge action instead of maneuvering or retreating. And he is going to declare charge against the mountainsmen.
Fair enough.
In addition to this, I'm playing Devastating Impact, which is when a friendly unit charges. I can reroll my charge distance die, and their attack deals +2 automatic hits. But if I control the maneuver zone, which I just did, I automatically count as rolling a 6, and I deal +2 wounds instead.
Ouch! This is really going to hurt.
So this bog, which would usually concern me, doesn't because I have automatically rolled a 6.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm moving
forward
forward
the bog
12 inches.
Cool. So you're going to slam right in.
Boom! Right in the front.
You're going to take half, right, so I can charge?
I'm going to not take half at all in the slightest. Okay? Now again, Caitlyn's no longer didn't get a chance to influence them, so they're only rolling their lowest attack die, which them is still 5.
I'm going to do Deadly Riposte, though, so for this attack.
Oh.
So we're going to take each other out.
I really don't like the fact that Jamie took some time to teach the
He read your book, Martin. He read your book. That's a yeah.
And I want to note that a lot of these nasty, actually all of these nasty counterattack effects that have been happening are specifically because you chose Jaime Lannister as your commander. Had he chosen the Mountain, he wouldn't have any of this counterattack stuff. He'd be much more aggressive based. But now, because he's chosen Jaime, you're a lot more passive. And I'm actually kind of playing into your strategy here by just charging right into you. But I'm a Stark. Yeah. Anyway,
fair enough. All right.
So I'm automatically dealing +2 wounds because of that devastating impact.
Yeah,
so.
that's gonna hurt. I'm just hoping that you roll some whiffs here. So
well, luckily I have rerolls because I charged.
That's true. It's maybe not the best play.
And I am activating Stark Fury because it's for free now I'm at 1 rank.
Yep.
So I'm getting +1 to hit. So I have 3s of rerolls. So Rob, don't pull a Rob on this and just botch it up and die.
Hey Rob, what's that? Ugh. Okay. Here we go. There. Yeah!
Rerolls!
He does have it.
I just need to pass 2 of these.
Dale, I'm just hoping for 2 more.
Rob.
Come on, Rob.
Rob, come on. I know I spent most of yesterday bad-mouthing Starks.
He did, Rob.
He was talking about how I don't like Rob specifically, and how Caitlyn is like one of the worst characters in the book series.
He did. He's talking bad about your mom.
You know what? I deserve this if it happens.
Yeah.
But...
Alright, here we go. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad either way, because it's either going to be bad for Michael or bad for me.
It's a nasty riposte of a broadsword,
too.
It is.
Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
No. Boom!
Oh!
And a bonus 6 right there.
Oh.
So that's actually going to be 6 saves, and then 2 of them are automatically dead.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the 2 guys that botched it, and then I have to make 6 saves on my armor of 4 up.
No, I've got no modifiers here for you or anything like that, though.
Brutal. That could have been really cool. Double wipeout. Ooh. Ooh.
Get
not
out
the
of
best.
here.
They are. That's 4 fails right there. So they are dead. However, when a friendly unit is destroyed, Lannister pays his debts. When a friendly unit is destroyed, one enemy becomes panicked and one becomes vulnerable. You may select the same enemy. If you control the money bags, or the wealth, which I do, also return 1 other discarded tactics card to your hand. So they're dead. They go to the Walk of Shame.
And I got my victory point for destroying them.
Yep. I'm going to put those to the side for now. So, let's see.
Actually, as you're picking the units that are to become panicked and
Panicked
vulnerable,
and
I'm just going to
vulnerable.
move these guys off to
Panicked
the shading
and
table.
Vulnerable. Who's panicked? Let's see. Well, I know what I'm going to do. They're going to get panic.
It is a very powerful Lannister card,
They are going to get
but
vulnerable.
the cost was fairly high. I mean, you got to lose a unit.
Yeah, and that was one of my good units, too. So
That was your most combat-oriented, so I'm glad that they're dead. Something else to note here as well, when you destroy a unit in combat, you get a free maneuver, so know that these guys are going to get that maneuver after you once this is resolved.
Oh, yeah. That's totally cool. And I've picked up my tactics card.
Which one did you get?
Actually, let me double check that. Because
Okay.
I did take this one, but there might be...
And it's important to note as well, discards are public knowledge, so none of that whole, well, you don't know, you didn't pay attention. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
That one's going to be important. I'm going to take fealty to the crown.
I don't like where this is going. I'm already seeing these nasty plans.
I'm taking
forming.
fealty to the crown. Hey, you wrote it. I'm just saying.
I know. I still don't like it. I don't like it when it's used against me.
That's
okay?
fair. That's fair.
Right, I don't like a lot of start cards when it's used against me either. So we're going to take a maneuver action. They have, again, that +1 speed because Rob's in there, so they're moving 6. So they're going to move up to here.
Okay.
And take a free maneuver, and they are going to maneuver just like this because I want to be outside of this unit's line of sight.
Because I can't charge you now if I'm not in your...
You can't
if you're
see
not
me.
in front. Okay.
Yep. And then these guys obviously can't, and I am in their side. Is everyone going to be in their side? Yeah, still in their side.
All right.
And noting that was them activating off of the maneuver zone, that was not their turn.
Woo. I don't like this. I don't like where this is going now. Okay.
You have any questions from chat or anything?
Yeah. So this acronym actually has 2 meanings for me, so I'm just going to ask, so it might mean something different to you. Is there going to be a VOD for this? For me, that means video on demand, but I don't know if that means something different for you.
I think they're asking if there's going to be a recording of this for later.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes. I can answer that. There is going to be one. It will be on the Bell of Lost Souls YouTube page, which we do have. We move all of our Twitch stuff over to YouTube. Okay. It's going to take a couple days just because of how everything works out, but we will also have posts on bellofsouls.net about the videos when those go live as well. So, yes, we are going to have another recording of this available on YouTube later. It should be on Twitch for about a week anyway. So or a couple weeks.
I wasn't sure if I was missing game terminology or not.
Yeah.
So we've got questions about the game. Repeating what was said earlier, the modifiers are to the dice, not the value on the card. Is that correct?
That is correct. So, yes.
Okay, so since that's true, you roll, subtract the modifier, then compare.
Oh, sorry, the modifiers are to the results of the die. So the die facing is always going to be what it is. So if I rolled a 6 and I've got something that triggers on a 6, I rolled a 6. But like my total might be still a 5. So I hope I explained that best.
And that's what we got for right now. So
okay, very good.
All right, I'm going to attempt to charge.
Where are we going?
I'm going to charge with... no! Wait, no, that's...
No?
What? No.
What?
I'm going to take Tyrion, and I'm going to take some tactics cards. So, tactics cards, which I don't have to tell you what I'm drawing, but I am going to give these guys a weakened.
See, it's a nice Lannister strategy, especially when you have Cersei, of just target and destroy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't like that happening to my guys.
That's fair. Okay. Also, is there a limit on the number of cards you can play on a unit?
So, as far as influence effects goes, you can have one influence effect per player on a unit. So I could have Caitlyn affecting the same unit as Cersei, but if you had multiple influence effects, you can only have one on unit. And as far as tactics cards go, you can only play one tactics card for each trigger. So like if I had like 5 cards that are each when my guy attacks,
you can only have one. Okay, so you can't stack the tactics cards. It's one tactics card per trigger.
Yes.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
We have some options around here. A lot of good ones too. I believe that I'm going to have Sansa go and claim this crown area of the tactics board. And I'm going to actually play Sudden Charge, which is when I claim a zone of the tactics board, I can replace its effect with a friendly unit and make a free charge action. If I control the maneuver zone, thank you, Caitlyn, the targeted enemy becomes vulnerable. Now, unfortunately, that effect is not really going to do too much because I'm going after the Halberdiers, and they are already vulnerable.
Okay.
But I've got to pick which unit here I'm actually going to... I actually should have thought about it beforehand. I just knew I was going to charge them. It was just a matter of with whom. But, well, let's be honest here. It's... Oof. So the Berserkers, it's a risky thought to do that now. It's going to be this unit of Sworn Swords.
Okay.
Okay. So... They're still going to be on top of the objective when they move, which is nice.
I'm hoping you roll that one just so
it is a bog. I can't fail because we know you're an inch away, but it could be a disorderly charge.
Yep. Here we go.
It is not, however.
It is not.
Now, in this situation here, I cannot line up to 100%.
Because there's a unit?
Because there's a unit in the way.
Okay.
So 50% come to right there.
Yep.
And also, just to note here as well, if there was ever a situation where I could complete a charge, but I couldn't get to at least 50%, the enemy unit is then going to shift over to 50% to meet me. If the situation arises where neither of us could do it, then we're going to get as close as we can. So.
Okay.
But alright, I have charged you here. I have no cards to play for this effect. I will be using Stark Fury. Do you have any nastiness?
I do not.
Alright, so I'm rolling 8 dice. I am hitting on 3s and 6s are causing 2 hits. Whew. I'm sorry, you had your set for charge.
I do have my set for charge.
If you want to use that.
I think I'm going to have to.
I mean, there's no negatives to doing it right now.
Yeah. Then maybe I'll fish out the that attack too. So set for charge. So I get seven attacks with this unit.
And my unit is weakened here, so you can force me to reroll my defense saves. So I'm actually really hoping you roll badly here. And because I don't really like luck a whole lot, I'm going to expend this weaken counter and make you reroll those 3 successes.
I still got 2.
Alright, well,
so
that's 2.
And they are Sunder, so it's -1.
Some are saving on 5s, and you can force me to reroll any of these if you so choose, by expending that token.
Right on.
I passed 1.
I don't think it's worth wasting the token for 1 extra wound, so I'm just gonna take my lumps now.
But now it is a morale test for
now
me.
if that had been like 5, you know, with the extra rank or something, then I might have thought about it. But yeah,
we're on 7 here. Man, the Starks are just, you know. So I will fail that by 2. Very important, though, I didn't fail that by 3, because that could have been a rank down. So I'm still rolling my max attack dice, which is going to be 8 with them.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s, and then 6s causing 2 hits. I swear I've done this to damage them before, but they just didn't stay down, almost as if you paid more than to show up. I could reroll any of these, but I talked about earlier how that's not a good idea. I do this one reroll from the charge.
Yep.
Nope.
Okay.
So that's going to be a total of 8 hits, because that 1-6.
Yep. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. Pretty good swings, and I'm weakened, so this is going to sting.
Oh, good sir. Please reroll all those successes.
Yes, and I reroll. They're on 4. There's no minuses, right?
Right.
Do I have? Nope. It's not bad. I do lose a rank though, so. But I'm Halberdiers, they don't really take a negative to that.
So one of the nice things about the Halberdiers is that they do not lose any attack dice until they hit that last rank.
Yep.
And then they suffer a very big penalty by dropping down to 3. Hopefully, though, you're going to really, really botch your panic test here.
Oh, panic test. Here we go. Do got to take that. All right, so they are on a 7. Do you have any modifiers or anything?
Nope.
I do not either, so. A 6, that's only 1. That's not bad. Not bad.
And I'm going to lose D3 wounds from my Stark Fury.
Yeah, you are. Yep.
1.
So 1 more guy.
Still a rank, but, I mean, I think it was worth it.
Seems like it. Seems like it to me.
It's not always worth it to do it, and that's something that people do get carried away of doing, is just constantly destroying their own guys.
Yeah.
As you see what happened over here. But, you know, risk-reward. They are my cheapest unit, so, you know, anything happens to them.
Yeah. I've got to go for the charge here.
I will note as well, though, I still haven't activated any of them, because this has all been tactics board manipulation from my cards and, you know, my effects.
No, I haven't activated these guys either. Actually, you know what? I could activate them right now and take some swipes. Wait, no, they haven't activated yet.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to activate these guys. And we're going to swing away.
All right.
So, 7.
And I'm vulnerable, so this could be very nasty.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I no longer have weakened.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking for 4-ups. So, 4, and it's -1 to your saves.
So I'm going to be rolling 5, sir.
Okay.
And you can force me to roll these if you so wish. I passed 2 of them.
I will say reroll the successful ones.
All right. I will pass 1 of them, so I'll lose 3.
And you take a panic test, correct?
I do.
And I'm going to play Fealty to the Crown.
Those halberdiers are not going to go away, are they?
They are not going to go away, folks. So you take a... If I control the crown, you take a -2, but I don't. When you make a panic test, for each model removed, restore 1 wound. And then I'm asking you this because you made the... But this is a panic test. Can I also play this one that is a morale test?
Panic test is a morale test.
So,
this is a situation with the same trigger.
Same trigger. Just want to make sure.
Again, a panic test is a specific form of morale.
Right. Yes. Just double checking. I know people in chat were asking.
It's actually relevant that came up because we just talked about the simultaneous triggers.
Right, and one's a panic and one. I mean, I know a panic test is a type of morale test, but the way I'm thinking about it in my head too is like those 2 words are different. So I want to double check.
I see what you're saying.
Because I know some folks in chat were probably thinking, or I was thinking it. So. Just to clarify, so...
Let's see, there's a trick I could do here, but I think I want to save it.
Oh, no.
It's a really cool one, but I don't... I'm putting faith in my dice.
Okay.
Oh, why? Why did I say that?
Oh, that means you're going to roll.
No. We're getting our 7. 7s! Boom.
Wow, okay. Well, that was that.
Sorry? That was a 6 and a 5. I don't know if you got any effects.
I saw that. No, that was... Ouch. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, and that was your Halberdier's activation.
That was my Halberdier's activation, yes.
Okay. Rob, I'm going to need you to probably go on the flank of those Halberdiers for me. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to actually activate Sansa's once per game effect. Once per game, I can search my deck or discard pile for any tactics card and put it in my hand.
Oh, not so fast, sir. I have another Intrigue and Subterfuge.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is not her activation.
Oh, this is just her card ability.
This is just her card effect.
Oh,
I'm
no!
Sorry.
Fair enough. Then I won't Intrigue or Subterfuge you.
Yes, that card would be a little strong if it can negate once per
game
abilities.
Fair enough. Because you're not actually activating her, so it's not
triggering her effect.
You're triggering her effect.
This is not her activation.
Very different thing. Okay, cool.
Now there were a couple effects that I could have gotten out here, and some later that I was going to be saving, but I actually really need this to happen. So this is my little bit of insurance that I have here. What I'm going to do is actually fish for this Devastating Impact card. Ooh. The second one I had. Now I could have gotten that out of my discard pile.
Yeah.
But I actually want to fish this out of my deck because there's some other cards.
You've got some other cards.
Yeah. I want to basically thin my deck a little bit. Yeah. Noting, by the way, that your tactics deck, if it is depleted throughout the game, it's done.
Okay.
So it is a finite resource.
Okay, good. I was about to ask if you reshuffle that or anything, but once it's gone, it's gone.
So if you're one of those people that like, I'm going to draw all the cards in the world, you'll have an early game advantage, but
you'll have no cards by the end of the turn.
So I'm going to play. That Rob's unit is activating.
Yep.
They're going to activate with declare charge action against your Halberdiers, which is going to be in your flank.
Yep.
Playing Devastating Impact give me an automatic 6 and an automatic 2 wounds when I charge, because that bog is continuing to be.
It's bogging us down. I know he loves punts, so he's gonna wipe the unit. So I gotta get him. Get him in when I can.
Now definitely going to wipe.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be. Come on, Halberdiers!
Boom. We're coming in there.
Come on, Halberdiers!
We're gonna land 50%. I could go all the way here, but I don't really see.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So dealing 2 automatic wounds. I'm dealing Stark Fury. I'm reduced down to 1 rank, so I'm not suffering any negatives. I am only rolling 5 dice here, though, because again, you stopped Caitlyn from.
I did. That would have happened. That would have stayed the entire round, wouldn't it?
Yes. So that was my whole setup. That's why I was. Now noting, I am hitting you from the flank now, so you're suffering -1 to your defense and a -1 to your panic test here.
Brutal.
Hoping to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reroll any of those because we talked about math earlier, so I do have 1 reroll. That is a 6, so that's going to be 6 hits at a -1 to your defense.
Alright. 6 hits That's going to be on a 5-up. Because of the -1, and you don't have Sundering or anything, right?
I do not.
That's just from being attacked from the flank.
Yeah.
-1.
Now, noting if I did have Sundering, that would be a total of a -2.
Oh!
And that really mattered in this situation. It's like it did. There's a bunch of 4s.
Yeah.
I'll take it, though.
Alright, so I am going to lose 4 guys, which is another rank. Oop, get back in there. Alright.
Now, at this point, the Halberdiers have dropped down to rolling only 3 attack dice. They've really been hurt. Hopefully, they're going to run away here, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, panic test. Here we go, 7-up. -1, so it's actually an 8+. Boxcars! There's a 9.
I can't break the... I can't.
Not going anywhere. Alright. I'm going to activate Jamie's unit and declare a charge on those guys.
Alright, now that's interesting because this is going to force you to come through the wall here.
Yeah.
Which means when we get +1 defense, well, it's the Berserkers, so, you know, it's going to do a 5 to a 4, but you got to do what you got to do, right?
That's true. Yeah, here goes nothing, man. So
let's see the distance.
Gonna be 8.
Oof. So that's going to be a 4+ for those guards.
Here goes nothing.
The Kingslayer is finally coming into combat.
Ah!
Nope.
So I still make the move.
Yes, and that will end up destroying that wall section there.
Yep. Which leaves him wide open to be countercharged. Hey guys.
Berserkers don't like charging things. It's fine. They're pacifists.
Is that what we're calling them now?
Oh wait, the opposite of that was it murderers.
Yeah. That's 2 failed charges for me. It was a 50-50 shot. I had to do something to try to help out my Halberdiers a little bit. So they did fail a charge.
It is a panic test.
It is a panic test. They don't care.
The Lancers have been on point with those.
It's the gold. This is early in the campaign. They still have bags of money.
All right,
So
we have some options here, but I believe that these Sworn Swords are going to go and try to finish off those Halberdiers. I'm not going to use Stark Fury here because I really don't want to get dropped down to 1 rank.
no, do it. Do it.
So I'm rolling 6 dice, hitting on 4s. Please don't roll a bunch of 3s. That will hurt my soul.
Come on. Oh, do it. Here we go. He rolled a bunch of 2s instead.
That's fine.
It's fine.
1, but that's all it takes. There's only 2 of you.
1. Here we go. If I pass this, if
you do not suffer any wounds from the attack, you automatically pass the test.
Here we go. On a 4-up.
No, die.
Ah!
Now I need that last guy to please run away. Okay?
On a 7.
All your friends are dead, man.
No, he's
run
good.
Away.
Hey, man. Think of all the money you'll get.
Sorry, you're getting everyone's pay.
Oh!
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Wall of shame.
All right.
Wall of shame.
This unit gets a free maneuver, and if any other units are now disengaged that were engaged, they get a free pivot action.
Right on.
Okay? So, these guys will get a free pivot. I'm going to pivot in a moment. I'm going to take my maneuver of these guys.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, if I move them off that point, though, I'm giving up that point. I don't want to do that. So they're just going to pivot to right here. Rob, you guys get a free pivot, but I'm actually fine with the way you're facing. You're good there as well. Dynamic!
Okay.
Because I still want to claim that objective. Alright, it is back to you. You know, I understand your guards are not really, the guards, the aggressive thing is not coming at them, but it's hurting. I mean, I'm just looking at these.
I was really hoping if the Halberdiers could just hang out, I could have gotten some extra guys back, do some chain healing things, but
Jamie, you're kind of surrounded here, man. I think we're recreating some, actually, that's all we're doing here, is we're just recreating the Battle of the Whispering Wood.
We've got a cry from Shadow. Take that, Lannisters!
Yeah, we are. Rally the Starks.
We are tough.
The North remembers, oh, you're coming after me?
I am going to have to move off this one.
Uh-oh. Jamie. Oh, sorry, Rob, pay attention. Pay attention, man.
Cover your butt! Alright, that was my activation with those guys.
Okay. You don't have anyone left to activate, do you?
I'm done.
Okay. Grey Wind. Boy, go fetch.
Yeah.
He's leaving this
He's
point.
going to leave that.
He's taking his free maneuver.
So he can get his stupid thing back.
And then he's going to march right over here and just pick this one up and land behind you.
Yep.
Lastly, Berserkers. Hey, guys.
Let's get in there.
I don't know. This might be some kind of trap. I mean, you got a bunch of tactics cards. I only have one in my hand, and who am I kidding? They're Berserkers. They're charging it.
No.
Well, let's see if it's failed charge. I can still roll a 1 here. Now, here's the thing. I'm going against Lannister guards who actually have nasty counterattack abilities with Jaime Lannister, who also has nasty counterattack abilities put in. there's a strong chance this could actually work out very, very bad for me, especially if you have a big hand of tactics cards. But I think the chat wants me to charge.
I mean, they just said make those Lannisters, you know.
They did. So let's get arrogant here and charge in.
All right.
We didn't fail it.
So even if you roll a 1, you would have passed the charge.
But
it
it's
still
disorderly. Now, the negatives for disorderly charge is that I don't get the charge rerolls, and I cannot play any tactics cards on that attack.
Wow.
So it's pretty bad.
And you would have taken a panic test too, right?
No, the only time you take a panic test
is if
you
you completely fail it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to line in only 50% of these guys.
All right.
Which actually this objective was a little further over because I know where the position was. So that's there. Cersei is still influencing them. They're still weakened. They're still panicked. It's still nasty for them.
Okay.
They're up to rolling 9 dice here, though. Okay, rolling 9 dice, hitting on 3s.
Okay.
I have no cards to play. Do you have any?
Not yet. Yeah,
there's
not
a
yet.
plan afoot. All right. Rolling, hitting on 3s. Oh, I did have a miss here. Boom.
Yep.
That was my rerolls.
Yep. I'm gonna take this one on the chin here. So
I don't think you. I mean, you don't have to. I am weakened.
Oh, that's right.
Now, this is an interesting thing to talk about order of operations as far as rerolls are concerned. Anytime there's rerolls on multiple players, the attacker's rerolls were, like most other things, the attacker's effects were resolved before the defenders. And the die can be rerolled only once per each player.
Okay.
So, in this case, I would expend my rerolls, like I just did.
I will use
now
that weekend.
You can choose to do that.
Because you have a lot of attacks coming. That was going to sting.
Come on, Umber.
Come on.
Show them the might of House Umber.
Or not. Or not. It's cool. It's cool.
That's going to be 6 hits. It is going to be a -1 to your defense because they do have Sundering.
Okay, so they have a 4-up. And when do I use this order? After this unit rolls defensive saves? So
we're talking about Jaime Lannister's counterattack. Which is what I was worried about.
Yeah.
I'm
totally using that.
That effect triggers after you roll, so you can see your results. Okay. And then basically for every successful defense save, I suffer a hit. Which is what I was saying that was pretty nasty to bring in.
Yeah. I had a 4-up. I only failed 1. So that's going to be 5 to you, sir. 5 to you.
My name's Jaime Lannister. I trained all my guys. We
Gold
just
armor.
give them a bunch of hand axes here and send them off to kill guys. So that's 5 hits for me on my
Zing!
on my delightful 5+ save.
Yes. These guards, man, they're pretty good. They need to get back in that combat, I guess.
I have to honestly say, guards are one of my favorite units in the game, just for how they work. But hopefully we're not going to see the full capabilities of them because it would be bad for me.
It will be. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad.
All right, so well, you know what? I can parry with axes.
Apparently you can, sir.
I fail by 2. Now, noting you only take a panic test if it's an attack. So this was an effect that was dealing me damage.
Okay.
It's not going to trigger a panic test.
Unlike
you, who did fail 1 and is going to suffer a panic test.
I am going to take a panic test, but if I pass this, I have Lannister supremacy.
Yes.
If I have been attacked and pass, the attacker must make a mana test with a -2 to the roll,
which is actually going to turn
pretty
into a -4 because of Cersei, and you can force me to roll these dice. So again, they're walking the Rager's edge here. Fail, please.
Passed.
Oh. Okay.
And this is going to be you now.
And?
Yep. Take another -1 of that test.
Hear me roar?
Yep, hear me roar. When an enemy makes a morale test, which is panic test is a type of morale test, that enemy suffers a -1 to the test and an additional -1 for each rank destroyed in their unit.
Oh.
If I control the crown, something else happens, but I don't. However, still going to sting. So
this is, again, nasty. I'm suffering a -2 from Hear Me Roar, -2 from Jolly Old Cersei here.
Oh, yeah.
And then a -2 for Lannister Supremacy. It's only a -6.
It's only a -6.
Whatever.
But you can only lose 5 models.
Yeah, I can only lose the 5 models that I've left in the unit.
I'm hoping. It's interesting, too, because you've been kicking my butt in combat. I think we can agree on that.
Yes.
But the tactics of, like, using the tactics cards, using the tactics board to mess with stuff is really keeping me back in the game.
And that's throwing the themes of the armies around. Starks are going to be way better at combat than Lannisters. Lannisters, you're going to have to rely on your nasty tricks like this in order to survive. A straight-up fight, unless you're running someone like the Mountain and a bunch of Clegane units, you're not going to have the combat potential I am. And the thing is, we're talking about my unit here, that we were talking at the start of the game, how much they're like, yeah, these guys are the ones who don't care about morale and everything.
Yeah.
You bypass that via, well,
a -6.
Good card play.
Yeah, I mean, stacking effects.
It was planning, though. It wasn't just like I had a bunch of cards I could take down.
There was some planning. I did
take the compliment.
I did plan a few things. I did have to plan ahead. That I knew I wanted to cause some morale damage to these guys because I need to get away. So.
Boxcars, come on, guys. -6. You're okay. That's going to be an 8 -6. I rolled a 2.
We've got a pun from chat.
No.
Underwhelming.
Oh! You know he
home.
loves puns, folks.
I'm going home.
Put all of your puns into chat. Michael loves puns so much.
I have rolled an 8. -6 is a 2. So I'm going to lose 3 guys right now. I am panicked. You can force me.
I'm going to force you to reroll that 6, sir. Yes, I am. Here we go. Come on. I can wipe the unit right now.
Yeah.
I can wipe the
I
unit.
want you to reduce them to 1 guy who's really, really angry.
He would be really angry.
A 3.
Yes.
So I rolled a 5 -1. Yep, that's, sorry, -6.
Yeah. So I brought you down to 0. You can't go below 0.
My morale's a 5. I rolled a 0. I lost 5 guys. Cersei, go home, Cersei.
She can't. She's been drinking. That's what she does.
You know, if Cersei toward the end of this point of the book series, and Robert toward the beginning, they probably would have gotten along pretty well, I guess.
They would have liked to party.
Noting that, so the unit was wiped out.
I get a point.
But, yep, and that was a point.
Oh, and you dropped it. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't holding the objective. We talked about that, and I
That's
wasn't
true,
able to
that's
move on
true.
to it. And that was from my running into you.
Hey.
I want to point out that was guards. It's what they do. And you had Jamie, who is the counterattack master on there. I knew what I was getting into. I just didn't think it was going to be that bad.
He even said, I think he's got some tricks up his sleeve. And, I mean...
We've talked about this before. Past me is way smarter than present me.
And future me's clean up all of our messes. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
I have activated both. I'm done.
I have everything as well.
We're going to pull tokens now.
We're going to pull tokens, redraw tactics cards, score objectives. I have 2 objectives.
Unfortunately, I have 0 right now.
Because Grey Wind over here.
But you're gonna get some dudes back.
I am. They were going to be Umbers, but now they're not. So here, Rob, he's going to go ahead and restore D3 wounds.
Makes sense.
That is the effect over here, D3.
Yeah, D3
yes.
wounds.
Okay.
1 bro.
That's fine. It's better than nothing.
That's true. We draw 2 tactics. I draw tactics cards.
1 enemy becomes vulnerable and weakened. Hello, Jamie.
Oh, not cool. Not cool.
I'm going to keep my tactic card, and I'll draw 2 more. Caitlyn's effect is now back to being used.
Yep.
Sansa's is once per game though, so it's extinguished.
Oh yeah, because that would have been really powerful to be able to cancel her outright like that.
Yes.
Especially if it once a game thing.
Now, I'm not saying that those don't exist, but
yeah.
And then round advances to 4. First player shifts back to me.
To you, sir. Oh, start of the round. I'm going to look at your tactics cards because I remember this time.
Start of a turn.
Turn?
But I believe it is a friendly turn, or is it any turn?
Begins the game with 2 order tokens at the start of your turn, so I have to wait till my turn.
So that is Tyrion has twice per game. He can look at my hand and force me to discard a tactic card.
So it's a new round, but on my turn I'll be able to do that.
Yes, rounds are comprised of individual turns.
Gotcha.
All right, guys. Oh, and clear off these activations.
No, leave them there. It's cool.
All right. We have some options here. I don't really like those guards facing the tail end of Rob.
That's
Like, I don't like it at all.
What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do?
Something sneaky.
Probably.
Actually, what I'm going to do. All right, let's risk it. Sure, Grey Wind.
He's gonna charge in there.
Grey Wind, I need you to charge in the back.
He's gonna go. Yeah.
I need you to charge in and kill a guy if you would.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I'm actually going to. No, that's not what I'm gonna do.
What you gonna do? You're gonna charge with Grey Wind. Chat. Tell him to get Grey Wind in there because you know you want to see the wolf in action.
I am going to charge a Grey Wind, but I'm going to actually activate Sansa, who is going to claim the crown area of the tactics board.
What?
And I'm going to replace its effect with sudden charge. Never give the enemy what he wants. That's the key to winning, Cat.
Yep.
Quote Brendan Tully. The most confident start. Sort of. Sorry.
Hey,
All
you
right.
said you didn't like puns, man. Was sorted? Sort of? I don't know. You said sword.
That was not fun.
Okay. Well,
No.
You're making a sword joke with dudes. You know what? We're going to keep playing. Keep going. What do you got?
No, you explained yourself. Alright, so we're going to see if it's a disorderly charge. Nope.
Nope.
So going right into your rear. Bark, bark.
Yeah. Now, how does that work with the smaller base? This is a solo base.
It
Do you just line in the
aligns
middle?
with 50% or 100% in there.
Same
so
deal?
I can block it off there.
Okay.
Same thing.
Cool.
I only have 1 attack die, but
That's
it does
fair.
hit on 2 plus a reroll.
And I'm going to be -2 to my save because it's in the rear. And a -2 to my
Now, actually noting that
too.
he has the stalking assault rule, so if he attacks enemy from the flank or rear, they do become vulnerable. So this is the thing about Grey Wind. He's a free addition to your army for taking Rob. He is meant to like hit guys in the flank, setting up tactics for other units. But now he's just rolling solo. So, boom, that's a hit, and that's going to be a, well, -2 for you.
So these guards are me saving on a 5. And I did not.
We mauled that guy to death, and that's going to cause a panic test, which is the most important part of this.
Yes, this is on a 9.
It turns out having a direwolf, like, just ramp and charge a guy in the back.
Kind of a big deal. I got an 8, so I do lose 1 guy.
Which is, well, it's actually not really important in this case, because your Lannister supremacy has a very slim chance to actually win.
It would have been nice, though, just to not lose the
Just
guy.
to get it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he saw his friend next to him just get mauled to death by a direwolf.
What are you going to do about it? I don't like that.
The important thing, the reason for me doing that, though, was I don't want them to charge Rob.
That's fair. That is totally fair.
I'm using Grey Wind there to tie you guys up. All right.
Okay. Because they can't charge now, right?
Correct. The only actions you can take while you're engaged is to retreat or make an attack.
Okay.
A melee attack specifically. Now that combat zone, the tactics ward may or may not exist. You're correct.
I'm gonna use Cersei. No, I'm gonna use Tyrion to give a maneuver or a free retreat.
Okay. That's true. It's the not the plan I was going to go with, but it's actually a better one. And remember, if you want to use Tyrion,
I do want to use Tyrion's thing, yeah. So
I guess you can look at my hand and see my cool stuff, which was going to be a cool surprise.
Let's see here. I don't want you to have this one. So goodbye, superior positioning.
So just to note, he discarded my superior positioning, which states that it's a Rob Stark specific tactic card. When a unit charges, the enemy must roll an additional die and select those results. If the targeted unit is unengaged, they can make a free pivot. So even if you were to get this charge over here, I could flip around and face him.
Yeah.
More so, if it was Rob Stark's unit, which it is, they could actually jump back 3 inches, which would have been a guaranteed failed charge for you.
Which is why I got rid of it.
Tyrion, he's like, by the way, if you try to charge him, he's going to do this, Jamie. So.
Yeah. I'm going to use my retreat action to get these guys
away from the direwolf.
Away from the direwolf.
I'm sorry, that was not an activation for the direwolf. That was actually Sansa. Sorry.
So,
all right.
Retreat is D6 plus my movement, right?
Yes.
So.
Up to.
So 7. We're just going to keep on marching.
And noting that unless you're charging, you can never voluntarily end a movement within an inch of an enemy.
Right. So I'm going to go right there.
Like, yeah, leave those guys behind. You know.
Yep.
Well, this is
just keep walking. Ignore the big wolf. Ignore the big wolf, guys. Don't mind the dog. It's fine. This is fine. He'll be busy chewing on the bodies.
Raven's going to activate and just
go
tag right along. He's going to do his free maneuver to just get up here.
Yep.
And now we're going to see if it's a disorderly charge. It was not. Okay.
He's still here, sir. 1.
Luckily, charge rerolls.
Oh.
What's the odds of rolling? Oh, wow. Don't say things you know will hurt you.
12. 1 in 12.
Don't say things you know will hurt you.
Oh, 1 in 36. Sorry, my bad. My math is wrong. But you failed.
I failed. I now have to take a panic test at -2, so my 2 goes to a 4.
Yeah. Wait. You're taking a panic test, huh, doggy? I'm not going to do that.
I mean, you
I
could.
I could. But no. It could have mattered.
It could have.
It's okay.
Again, he's just there to tie them up and protect Rob. I enjoy the cinematics that are going on here. By the way, do we have any questions from a chat, I suppose, or anything going on?
We do.
Sorry, we've seemed like they've been neglecting them for a bit.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I was holding a bunch for a Q&A, but are siege weapons likely to have a larger range than other range units, i.e. more than the measuring ruler?
Oh, well, I can say that siege weapons probably will probably shoot a little longer than longbows. That's what I'll answer that question with.
Fair enough. He's being sneaky, folks.
Everyone keeps asking about siege weapons, and it's just...
It's like they want to fight in castles or something, man.
It's like Christmas. They want to know all their stuff is, but they've got to wait.
I'm sorry. I can't make them talk.
Also, you have a big hand of tactics cards. I'm down to 1.
I do. And I know what it is.
Yeah, you do, and it's all Tyrion's fault.
It is literally all Tyrion's fault.
Is the Hound still a monster when attached to halberdiers, or have his rules been altered?
So that's a question in regards to the Kickstarter rules for the Hound versus present one. So I actually will say that there was a small revamp that happened there. Jamie's attachment version got a version of the Hound's rules, and he got something that's much more aggressive based. We'll be covering that in a Kickstarter update next week, actually targeting the Lannisters specifically, so you can read about that more.
Okay.
Basically, the reason that change was made is because it didn't really feel thematic with what the Hound was doing. So we wanted to give him something that was a little bit more aggressive, aggression based to fit with House Clegane. And then we shifted that ability over to Jamie because it fit a little bit better. Okay, what are we going on here? More tactics cards?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I want to do that one. Double checking here. I could restore some wounds, but I feel like... Yeah, actually, I don't want you to get wounds back.
I was just actually really happy. I was like, I'm going to take the wealth area, get back some wounds.
I'm not going to let you take back wounds. I'm going to get 2 guys back here for the guardsmen. Hey guys, we're back. There's a dog back there still, though. And
this round.
I'm going to remove a condition from these guys. Actually, from these guys, which will be the weakened one.
Okay.
And that will be my activation. Or that.
All right.
And I draw. Oh, no tactics. Okay, go ahead.
I know everyone's been waiting for it,
Mm-hmm.
so let's finally make this happen, shall we?
Uh-oh.
We were going to have a Robb Stark,
Jaime Lannister fight,
and Jaime Lannister fight. I think.
Okay.
I think. Before I declare my actual actions here, let me take a moment to look at the board. Who am I kidding? Oh, yeah, Berserkers are dead. Sorry.
They are dead.
Yes. Rob, you're charging into Jaime.
Oh wait. Sorry. I did activate Cersei.
Oh, you're right. You did. I'm sorry.
So I am going to. Who's going to get the -2?
And actually, in that case, my plan might have changed.
Yeah, hang on. Before you do that, let me back it. The -2 is a big deal. Do I want to put that on Rob, or do I want to put that on the big unit? I am going to put that on the big unit. I think
big unit having 2 more guys, but it's another rank.
Yeah.
All right. That being the case, Caitlin, actually, you're going to activate. I'm going to claim the tactics area. Her influence.
Nope. Intrigue and subterfuge. When an enemy non-combat unit activates, that unit loses all abilities until the end of the round. If you control the crown, which I don't, negate them. But I just don't want Caitlin influencing this fight. All right.
Would you just like have her tied up somewhere?
Okay.
I still get my 2 tactics cards, 2, and I get to place a condition token on enemy units.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to place a panic token on Jaime's units.
It's not a bad call.
And let me take a look at my 2 new tactics cards, but that was my activation for the round.
Okay. Jaime's unit is going to charge. Because these guys can't charge Jaime now, right?
Well, Rob, because they're engaged, right?
Yeah.
And Jaime's unit cannot see Rob.
Yeah.
So that is your 1 target.
I may have misplayed this a little bit, but it'll be cool because we're going to fight anyway. So they're going to charge there.
I am going to...
I'm going to throw a quick question out there since it's actually
Yep.
gameplay. If you want to retreat, but you have an enemy unit just within 1 inch in the only direction you have to, can you still retreat?
So when you retreat, you actually will pick a 1 enemy to run away from. If your avenues are all cut off, you're stuck.
Yep.
You've been surrounded. I'm not going to play any cards. I'm just going to take it.
Okay. So here goes. So I am in range, but I want to check to make sure. So that is definitely 4. And to see if I roll a 1. Don't roll a 1, right? I rolled a 1. Disordered charge, it still goes off, though.
Yes, but you can't play tactics cards for the remainder of that unit's activation, and you don't get your rerolls.
That is not the best.
Jaime apparently does not like charging because they have had no luck.
They have. I failed 2 now?
2, and now and the one time you can auto pass, it's disorderly.
Oh, of course it is. Oh, I still get to attack, though.
Yep,
so.
but you can put those cards down. No tricks for you right now.
Oh, I've got some stuff. Okay, so 6 swings.
Yep. By the way, this is the time to point out, they're rolling only 6 dice hitting on the 4+. As you can see, their combat capabilities are drastically lower than anything on the front side.
This is kind of underwhelming there. So here goes. 4 ups. Even with Jamie around. If I had my reroll, that'd have been great, but
Yep.
I don't. So 2.
Hopefully we can learn how to use our shields. 4+.
No, don't do it. Boxcars.
And we automatically pass our panic test because we didn't suffer any casualties.
Well, that stinks. For me.
For the north.
For the north.
Okay. My turn. Yes?
Yes.
Rob! It's your time to shine, man.
Hang on. I have the Kingslayer's Renown. When an enemy unit activates, that unit becomes weakened. If they are within short range of Jaime Lannister, they must also make a panic test. Booyah!
So now that Rob is like, yes, let's end this fight. Oh my god, that's the Kingslayer.
Wait a minute. That is the Kingslayer. Time out. Hang on. We have to rethink this.
And that is a Jamie-specific card, of course.
That is a Jamie tactic.
Oh.
Make that panic test. Roll me a 9. Roll me a 2. Roll low.
Rob, please don't run away. I know his name is the Kingslayer, and you're... Well, you're technically not King of the North right now.
I mean you are, so you should get slayed by the Kingslayer.
This is the wolf.
Boogity-boogity-boo. Boogity-boogity-boo.
I want that to be just the looped clip.
Boogity-boogity-boo. Boogity-boo.
Okay. Alright,
Here we go.
7. That's a 6.
That's a 6! I made a guy... Wait, dang it. This is... When does the order happen there? Some morale test. Does that count as making you make a morale test? Or is
That was exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
It was a panic test, because again, a panic test is a morale test. Do you have something to play?
I do have the Hear Me Roar, which would be really bad.
So, let's go ahead and say you played it.
I played it because it's the morale test, the triggers.
Yes.
I got excited with the boogity boogie. I'm sorry.
So, I suffer -1 in this test.
-1 of the test, and an additional -1 for each destroyed rank in the unit.
So, I suffer a total of a -3.
Which would be just enough.
Hear me roar, eh?
Yep.
Hear me roar.
Roar. Not howl. Roar. Get out! He retreated from the field that day because of the glory of the Kingslayer and his shiny gold armor freaked him out.
That's
Just
a
little
victory point, I suppose.
It's a moral victory
And
point for me.
You know how I said this is an exact recreation of we're going to see what happened to Robb Stark? Apparently, it is fully like...
Well, this is the part where he runs off and gets Jaime to chase him.
I see. Okay.
See.
But you know what else? The North remembers.
No, they don't.
When a friendly unit is destroyed, which just happened,
No, it's just happened.
I can remove an activation token from a friendly unit. Unfortunately, I only have one unit that has activated, and that is Greywind.
Greywind's going!
But he's like, Rob ran away.
Rob?
Yep. That's Direwolf is just, you know,
He's Scooby-Doo now.
Oh, okay, that was still my activation, though. I just haven't, you know, just made a tactical withdraw.
Yeah, no, his activation was, we're going to sneak away stealthily so that Jaime follows us.
Oh.
I can't believe that worked! Of course it did, because there's Lannisters. Good old
Tyrion?
Lannisters. Tyrion! Never drink with a Lannister. Alright.
You're up.
That was your activation too? Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
That was
Wait, they did activate. That was their... I whiffed on my charge.
And you saw that Direwolf with.
I'm going to activate these guys, and with an attack action, you do get a shift, which means you can move.
You can actually turn to face me
So
if you
I'm
want,
gonna-
which not the worst idea.
Hey guys. Hey Greywind, what's up?
Are there any consequences to losing Rob?
A lot of the tactics cards I had, because Rob is comprised of a third of my tactics deck,
Yeah.
they usually get stronger when you target the unit that is containing the commander. And now that Rob's gone, all those cards got a little less powerful, but that's the only side effect.
Yeah. It's not
the end of the world, but
yeah.
a lot of my cards did just lose a lot of their cool powers.
Yeah. So these guys, 6 dice to attack, 4 up to hit.
Bark, bark.
I only got 2 because we are super awesome in combat with these guys.
Yeah, duck and weave, Greywind. He saves on a 3+.
Yeah, he does. He's got how many wounds as well?
He's got 3 wounds. He failed one, so he will take a wound.
Oof. We're gonna be dealing with this pup for a while.
Bark, bark. Rawr, rawr. Well, hopefully I'm gonna kill you guys. I mean, that's my solution. Is just all right. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have my sworn swords over here go.
Do it. Do it to it. Here goes.
Oh. Rob, why have you forsaken me? But you're panicked. You are weakened.
Can you get another effect on them just for fun?
I have to activate Stark Fury.
You have to.
I don't want to do it, but I am. But I'm going to activate Stark Fury. I'm also going to play this tactics card, Direwolf's Fury. Ooh. I gain Sundering, and if I control the combat zone, which I don't, so it's needless, I would deal +2 automatic hits. But Sundering, very important against those guards.
Yeah, that's a -1 to my armor.
Yes. I'm rolling 6 attack dice, hitting on 3s. 6 is causing 2 hits. I need a good roll here, because Rob...
when do I do the counterattack for the defensive?
So again, all the orders have a trigger on them? What is the text on that?
After this unit rolls defensive saves.
We've got a question from chat saying, doesn't Grey Wind need to take a panic test?
No.
No, because... Oh, he did suffer a wound. Yes, you're correct.
It's wounds, not models.
Yes.
It's wounds, not models.
He just passed on 2+.
He's
but you are correct.
I think he's okay.
I rolled at least a 2 on 2d6. Sorry, but you're right. You could have had a bunch of effects to put on him.
Yeah. No. Or do I?
Chat keeping us honest.
Yep. Alright.
Alright, come on, guys. For the North, even though, Rob just literally ran away from...
Yeah, we got money...
And you saw him run away.
And wine, Lannister style, I'm just saying.
Oh. 2 hits. Sorry, 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits, 7 hits at a -1.
Alright, so it's a 4-up. Here goes. Alright, so... It's gonna be... 3, and I'm going to go ahead and do the counterattack so that you take a -1.
Or 3 hits.
3 hits.
Okay. So you're losing 4 guys, I'm suffering 3 hits. And I'm suffering D3 automatic wounds as well because of that.
Hey, wait! You got stuff on my...
You're right. I need order
so
tokens.
Before... when does the... Just so we know order operations.
Well, your order states that after defense dice are rolled. Right. So that's after any effects are,
Right, so do you want me to reroll...
I would actually, yes, like to do that.
Here goes.
Hopefully failing all of them.
Do you want me to reroll these 2?
No. I think the ones and 2s are fine.
Ah!
Much better.
So that was horrible. I should have kept my mouth shut, but I didn't.
That was very honorable for a Lannister.
So 7 guys bite it, and I can't even use my order to hit back.
Oh, you could use your order. It's just that none of those guys are going to...
But I'm not now, so ha.
I see. That's a victory. You didn't expend your order.
Yeah. Small victories. I'll take them. All right.
And now a panic test.
Now a panic at
no negatives.
No negatives, but you do have a panic token.
Yep. So if you could roll bad here, it'd be great.
Nope.
If you had to re-roll those and roll badly, that'd be great.
Nope. We're hanging out.
I just want both commanders to run off the battle.
Ah!
Why do they never fail? And now it's that Lannister supremacy.
Oh, because we passed.
Because you passed.
And you're at a -2.
And a -2.
And a -4.
Guys, I know things are going downhill since our leader ran away. Who would have thought that?
Fealty to the crown. When you make a panic test, for each model removed by this test, restore 1 wound to a friendly infantry unit in short range.
You were sitting on 2 of those.
I was.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's fine. We're just gonna pass it. That's all we have to do is just
-4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Make it happen.
-4. We just need 11.
You can make it happen.
It's fine.
It's fine. This is fine. That's an 11! You rolled an 11! Are you kidding me? Ah!
Sorry, Cersei.
Wrong crown, guys.
Get out of here.
Wrong crown. Not the King of the North crown.
But I am suffering D3 wounds.
Yes.
Because of my Stark Fury.
That would have been awesome.
Now, I also did all this knowing that you were having the first activation next round, so there's a lot of risk going on here. It might come down to Grey Wind just
munching away.
3.
Yes! That was the best possible outcome for me. Maybe. Oh, that was a brutal round. Brutal.
Okay. Let's do... And everything's activated?
Yeah.
No, Grey Wind has still not taken his normal activation.
Well, he did take an activation. You removed it.
I did.
He's going again.
The North remembers. He's making a retreat action.
I don't blame him.
Yes, he's making a retreat action.
Are you sure? He's gonna munch away?
He's gonna fall back 10 inches. And he's gonna fall back that full 10 inches.
Alright. Back there. Yep. Well, he's not off the board.
He's going to move back just right onto that objective.
Yep.
Because that's actually not going to be a full 10. So I'm going to put myself in a little bit of danger here to pull back to right here.
Okay.
Claim that objective, but that's going to still leave me just barely within charge range, still risk for you.
Yep.
Okay. I can pivot, I'm not going to pivot. End of round scoring.
You get 1.
I get 2.
1, 2.
So 2 victory points for me, both, and you have none, do you?
I don't have any. But the triggers effect too, so that's D3
so
wounds.
Healing D3. So where
underneath the.
Right there. Really, of all places, I hit it.
I don't know how you did that. Actually, I saw it because I was sitting down.
All right, heal D3.
No, don't do it. Oh, the 3 guys that ran away are back now.
Rob, they're like, oh wait, Rob didn't retreat. He's just over here.
He's just being sneaky, guys. We can get back in there.
Yep, that's the Northerners.
Yep.
And then one unit becomes vulnerable and weakened. So yep, let's go ahead and snack some more on the keys here. This is still coming down to it. I mean, this is anyone's game here.
Speaking going back and forth, I'm actually out of tactics cards for the first time all game, so I'm gonna draw 4. All right. And I have first turn though.
I'm going to discard this tactic card because superior positioning is not helping me. I'm getting 3 more cards.
Can you win the game on objective points even if your entire force is wiped out?
The second that your combat units are all wiped out, you are immediately eliminated from the game. So theoretically, in this case, if I'm up by 8 here to his 4, he can still win by wiping me out.
That's right.
It's going to be again, as we spoke about at the start of the game, it's not a good strategy to have.
No.
But
we are on turn 5 now. So.
We are on turn 5.
It's getting desperate. I'm going to go first. I'm immediately going to take Cersei and put her on the crown. And I'm going to give this guy a -2. And we're going to make him take a panic test right off the bat.
So total of -3.
-3.
So and I roll below a 10. And
do I have anything else I want to do right now?
There's always an and with the Lannisters.
And nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. A 10.
10.
You still lose 1. Right? 7.
Yes, you're right. Because I'm a minus. Oh no, -3.
-3. No! Yeah. Ah!
The North prevails.
You're killing me, Smalls. Killing me.
They're the last guys holding out. Okay, they understand what it means to be, true Northerners.
Apparently.
Okay. You are weakened. You are vulnerable. You're not panicked. I'm going to have Sansa claim the combat zone of the tactics ward. Allow them to make a free attack action. I am not going to activate Stark Fury.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Dang it.
I am going to, however, play Winter is Coming.
I'm going to play Counterplot to your Winter is Coming. I don't even know what Winter is Coming is doing.
It would give me a +1 to hit, and if I control the combat zone, it makes you vulnerable, which you already are, so.
But on a 3-up, this cancels, but I also control the crown, so I get a reroll on this.
Alright.
Nope. Reroll it. No! It doesn't matter. Your counterplots are
That's
useless,
what you
Lannisters.
Get, dirty Lannisters.
Oh, this is gonna be brutal.
All right, so 6 attacks. I'm hitting on a 3+. Not using Stark Fury. I don't want my guys to die. Actually, whoa. Your guards are down to 1 rank.
Yeah.
You're only rolling with 3 attack dice.
I'm only rolling 3 attack dice.
But
you gotta roll it. Do it.
We're Stark Furying.
Yeah, you are.
So
they came back to Stark Fury again.
Sorry. Can I do the smart play here?
Sure. What do you got?
Caitlyn should have been the one to activate because then she can influence them to get max attacks. Oh, no. And I know. Finally, you can't actually stop her because you're out of intrigue and subterfuge.
That's true.
So let's do the gentleman thing. I know it's hard. For
No. Hey. I told you about the weekend thing, bub. Hey, hang on. Yeah.
All right. Everybody gets 1. So we're rolling 8 dice. Stark Fury is giving us +1.
+1.
Winter is Coming is giving us +1. Hitting on 2s.
Yep.
6 is causing 2 hits.
Oh man.
Hello.
So bad.
Kingslayer.
Hello.
And we still managed to miss 2 of those. All right. So that's gonna be 5, 6, 7 hits.
This is bad.
I'm not causing any negatives to your armor though, so it's still a 3+ for you guys.
3+. That's good. That's good, right? All right. Here goes. I'm guessing I'm rerolling these.
I am going to say please reroll a lot of those.
Wait, 7, right? Yep. I need that again. Alright. But wait, there's more. I'm going to do counterattack.
Okay.
And I'm also going to do expert parry.
So what does expert parry say?
When a friendly unit is attacked in melee, after attack dice are rolled, Each defense roll of a 6 is 2 hits. If that unit contains Jaime Lannister, you may also reroll any defense dice.
So that should have happened. Actually, that should have happened after I rolled attack dice, but before you rolled defense. But you gave me one.
Oh,
so...
it's after attack dice are rolled.
Yep.
My bad.
That's fine. You gave me one, so I'll give you one.
All right. So how does that work now? So am I rerolling these now? Is that what's reroll any defense dice?
Yeah. So what happened is, again, I'm the active player.
Yeah.
So my rerolls happen first. So I would have forced you to reroll any of those.
Right.
And then you would have.
Then I would have got.
The thing is, I would have known that you had that.
Right.
So I wouldn't have expended the weekend thing because.
But no, you would have because I had a bunch of 6s. So you want to get rid of those anyway.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So I would have done that. So
Yeah.
this is actually how it's just going to resolve here, just like this.
Yeah. And then
if you're re-rolling these.
Do I actually re-roll these now, though?
Because this is your re-roll in those.
Okay.
Yep.
My bad. I misread that. I thought it was after defense dice were rolled, like the other ability, but
yep.
Reading's hard. I'm sorry. I got excited. Okay, I only picked up 1.
But rolls of 6 are blocking 2 hits.
They are blocking 2 hits.
Which you failed by 2, and you rolled 2 6s.
Oh, they block 2 hits? Sweet. So I don't go anywhere, and all of those blocked hits are 1 hit on you, sir.
Yep. So you blocked a total of you can only block a hit that actually came through.
Right.
That's still 7 on me.
So 7 back.
I almost wish I was fighting the mountain right now because he wouldn't be doing any of this counterattack stuff. He would just be trying to kill me in charge. But
here's the thing: if I don't take him off that objective this turn, though, I lose anyway.
Come on, Starks. You've been my MVP unit. I need you guys to hold.
No.
4 pluses, as we just walked into a wall of counterattacks.
You did.
And we failed every single...
You made 1? 2?
I passed 2, and I only lost 5. Huh.
How many models are in there?
5.
Oh! Welcome to Lannister House!
Grey Wind, you're going to have to pick up some slack here.
I get a point?
You get a point.
Sweet.
Can I interrupt with a question?
Question.
Okay.
Yep.
Will siege weapons be usable outside of the siege scenario, and will the siege scenario be playable without siege engines?
I can answer the last one.
I can answer all of those questions by saying the same thing we did earlier, where we'll cover all that next week in an update.
I already know that siege weapons are going to be not used in siege, because, like, why would you just have units that you cannot use only in one scenario? I mean,
you said it, not me.
Those are my words, not his. Don't quote. I mean, I don't work for them, so I can say whatever I want.
By the way, that unit was cursed because it was like a 1 unit. Caitlyn influenced them. They took her advice and they all got killed.
Yep.
Long story short, never listen to Caitlyn's story.
Never drink with a Lannister. All right. Man. Okay. I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna activate Tyrion, and I'm going to maneuver. What does this objective do? Yeah, I'm going to maneuver these guys onto that objective. And the reason is... Yeah, they're just going to walk over here. The reason is...
Because it's worth points?
Because it's worth points. I'm trying to block Grey Wind from getting points. And I thought about moving this unit up to do it.
Did you get a point for wiping out that unit? I
did get a point for wiping out that unit. And I'll get a point at the end of the turn. But I figure I've got... It's only turn 5. We'll go to 6. And we'll see what happens. Go ahead. And that was their active. That was just the board. That wasn't even activation.
Yep. My one little daughter pup. And Sansa with no daughter pup because she's dead. Internet.
You killed her, Internet.
All right. Sansa is going to move on to the tactics area.
Yep.
I'm going to make them panicked. I'm going to draw my 2 tactics cards.
All right.
And that's my activation, so it's off to you.
All right.
Oh, both of your units have not activated, have they?
They have not. We are going to...
When you get time to charge, you're going to need that 6. Or do something. I mean, Sorry, I'm not going to tell you. You do you.
I'm just going to march, actually. Because you're going to charge them anyway with Grey Wind. But I want you off the objective, but I want to get close enough to where I can actually do something. So I'm just going to move up about to there.
Okay.
And we'll shift around so that... Yep.
Grey Wind is going to activate.
Yep.
He is going to do his free maneuver, and he's going to march base. I'm parking him on this objective.
Okay.
Okay. Shuffle.
Shuffle around. You're buying time. I see what you're doing there.
I'm doing a couple things.
Yep.
The battle is not lost.
It is not.
We have a dire wolf.
Then on my activation, I'm going to activate these guys. We're going to march.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go straight ahead, and then I'll rotate, claiming that one. And they'll be done.
All right. End of the round.
And well, they get to activate.
I'm sorry, you're right. They do.
They're just going to move up to the other side of the thing. And that'll be the end of the turn.
Okay. Scoring points for objectives and the order of operations here does matter.
So I'm first player. I pick first, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get back D3 wounds.
Yep.
On this unit.
Ah!
Ah! Can't get a break.
I'm going to activate this one to cause a panic test on this unit.
Okay. Alright, here we go. On a 7. I lose 1.
Reroll.
Ooh, you want me to reroll a 3?
I'll.
You better make them both, because I mean, I don't know.
I know it's got to be either both or just nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Statistically, he made the right call just now by saying no.
Yeah, just take your 1.
I know math is not my strong suit, but I do know some D6 probabilities, and yeah, take the 1.
Take the cannoli.
Take the cannoli. You will be vulnerable and weakened. So on Grey Wind. And I had 5 points. I'm gaining 2 more.
Yep, you're at 7. I gained 1, so I'm at 8.
Oh man, weren't you at 8 before? I thought you were at 9 now.
Was I?
Yeah,
okay.
You were at 8 before. Before the because you had 8 to my 4 earlier.
Okay.
And now I've taken 2. That was the big thing, is that if you had stayed on those 2 objectives, you would have got 10 points.
Yes. Okay,
Game over.
Sure.
So
clears off.
Yep.
Caitlin, I'm never taking your advice again. You're kind of bad at it.
Oh, tactics cards, my favorite.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and...
You have first player token now.
I do. I'm going to... Being surrounded by Lannisters. I'm going to definitely discard the North Remembers, because I don't need that. Because if I lose this unit, I'm kind of dead.
You know who else remembers? The North and Peppertron.
Topical. Yes.
They were written in the same in the 80s, I'm just saying.
I have 2 tactics cards left. I'm going to...
You're digging for something.
I'll discard Tactical Regroup.
Okay.
And I'll draw 1, because I honestly don't remember what's still in my deck.
Fair enough.
Okay, that's fine. Greywind. Greywind, man. You got objectives that you got to hold. And you really have to hold these against a bunch of Lannisters.
So here's the kicker. So I have 7 points.
Got 9.
You have 9.
So if I can claim a point,
you win.
I can win. And these are Lannister guards. They're super slow.
Yeah.
So you might have some sneaky stuff going on. So this unit here is 9, just a little further away from me. That's the option there. Sansa. Kaylin, you're never getting used. No, you're really good, just bad advice. Taking the maneuver zone of the tactics board, allowing Greywind here to take a free maneuver action.
Okay.
And he is going to just move off the objective, but still just move right over here.
Fair enough. So now this is interesting to me too, because we've been seeing a lot of the combat and tactics and stuff like that, but now we're actually seeing how important board control is. So this is like a whole different level here.
Yeah.
So
so the key reason, I know that you're on 2 objectives. You're in 2 points.
Yeah. I
need to be able to claim this point for you and make sure that you never get it.
Yeah.
Which you're not close enough to get to me. The only way I foreseeably saw you doing that was getting a free maneuver here.
That's exactly what I was looking at.
And I had to block you from doing that.
Chad is saying they think Lannister deserves another point because of destroying a unit on an objective.
Oh, we did over here. That's correct.
Oh, does that change your options up?
Change my options? I don't know if it changes my options.
Or your play up. So I'm actually at 8 too.
You're at 8, so that means I actually now have to go on the aggressive side of things.
Yeah.
Now it's going to come down to a little bit of the combat thing.
Do you want to redo that? Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat.
Oh wait, I destroyed a unit. So, question on that real quick. We back up when this combat happened.
Yeah.
I killed you when you attacked me, thanks to counterattack stuff.
A unit was destroyed while it was controlling an objective. It's worth an extra victory.
Right, but does this unit then get a follow-up move?
No, because they didn't charge. The only time you get the advanced forward move is when you destroy someone with attacking.
That's why I was asking about it.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat.
Okay. All right, what do you got?
I'm still going to do that.
You still going to do the Sansa?
Yes.
Okay.
Because now my options as to what's going to happen here. We might end the game in a tie unless I make an aggressive action. So just noting right now, if I were just to park here, I would get a point. He would get 2 points. We would both go to 10. The round would end at 6. It would go to a tie. And then at that point, it's going to go by remaining points on the table.
Which I think I'm up.
I'm at 0 because Grey Wind is free.
Yeah.
So I've got to go on the aggressive here. The assault here. That's what we're going to do. Grey Wind, he's going to move over here. Still going to keep my distance away. Yeah, there's no way you're going to pass that charge. So still there.
Alright. I'm setting this up now. Do I want to make Grey Wind take a bunch of... I'm going to do this first. No! On the start of my turn... Oh, look at your tactics cards. I'm going to do that first. Let's see. Nope. Swift advance. Get into that one. I know that Winter's Coming does more combat stuff, but I don't want you to get the extra movement because you also have the maneuverability. And Tyrion here is going to go there.
And heal some guys up.
And heal some guys up.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly correct.
Mm-hmm.
3 wounds. And we're going to get rid of some condition cards. We're going to get rid of Panicked. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. I don't like it, but again, we got to do it. Grey Wind, you're activating. He's going to take his free move here. Not able to get to your side. Not able to get to your side.
So just so chat knows, the way to get to the flank, 50% of the unit has to be in the rear.
Yes, and it's measured from the defender. So here I'm not even partly in.
Yeah. And if it's split 50% wise, then
it goes to the attacker.
To choose.
So being that guy can't get over there, he's just going to move over here to get to a charge in. Can't fail the charge. Can become disorderly though.
Which would
Grey Wind, don't do it. Okay.
All right.
I'm just going to come over here to say, hey, Kingslayer.
How's it going?
Park. Direwolf's Fury. No. It's still it's really not looking good here in any situation. I'm hitting on 2 plus reroll. I am weakened, so you can cost me to reroll that if you want. I'm not going to reroll that die. Would you like me to reroll it?
No, I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to do this and play Wealth of the Rock.
Yeah, +1 to defense. So 2 plus, eh?
Well, I automatically block D for hits because I hold. So
well, crap. That's
I only did
worse.
1 hit, and I feel like counterattack makes sense anyway. Because
so Jamie's gonna try to walk up and just
you're gonna hit yourself. Quit hitting yourself, dog. Quit hitting yourself.
So that's 1 automatic hit. All right, I'll make my 3+ save. I passed, but you could make me reroll if you want. But 1.
Not 1 dice.
Okay.
No.
Lannister Supremacy on 4.
Yeah, because I don't take a test. I auto pass the test.
This would be really bad if I rolled double 1s here, failed by 2, and he ran away, just like his master.
That would be amazing. Go home, boy. Go home.
5.
Ah! I should have put Cersei on him. Speaking of which,
influence that dog.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's actually do this. I'm actually going to put Cersei on the combat action.
Yeah, and that's the best play to do there, because otherwise I was going to take it.
And Grey Wind's going to get a -2 because somehow Cersei's great with animals.
Well, apparently she just captured Rob or something. Who knows? I've given up so much faith on Rob here. Come on, that was the unfortunate turning point of this game. Was Rob decided he wanted to not be in combat anymore, running away from the Kingslayer.
Hey man, he's the Kingslayer. He's got a reputation, man. You see that armor? It's gold. You don't get that from being a chump. All right, So 6 dice because I did manage to get back up to 3 ranks. I'm not the best in combat, but 4 hitting on 4-ups. Here we go. Whifftown. I hit twice.
That's all you need, though. I've got 3+ save, and you're making me reroll.
I have weakened. You want me to reroll?
I know. Well, you're right. You do. Yes, because it actually is pretty relevant. I mean, I guess.
I only hit once now.
That means I theoretically can't be killed.
Right?
Maybe. 3 plus.
Yeah.
Want me to reroll?
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Ow, right in the eye.
Right in the
So I
eye.
take my second wound. I have 1 left. And now my panic test.
With -2?
With a -2, so I need a 4.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Pass.
Of course you did.
Unfortunately, though, I have fully activated everything except for Caitlin over here. Caitlin, she's going to take the crown and make the Mega Panic test a -1.
Here goes. Oh. So I needed 8, so 3.
5.
So 5 models. Back to where we were.
I just can't finish them off. That's the problem this game, is that
Yeah.
I've been bringing them down, but I just can't get that last little bit in, and then you just heal them back up.
That's so good.
If I just had a little more, come on, just a little more. But that's all I got. That's my last
Did
activation.
you activate Greywin?
Yeah, he was my my first go, or sorry, second go after getting a free maneuver, and I had to charge in.
I think that's game then, man.
That is going to be game.
So I'm going to get 2, which
You
will
get
put me at
2?
10.
Yeah, I didn't bother getting 1 because even if I did, it's going to put me at 10.
Yeah.
But then that's
Go
the
to
last
points.
round. We're going to go to points.
Thanks for the game.
That was some crazy upswings and downswings, and we didn't even get to see the climactic fight
Right.
of Jamie and Rob.
Yeah, because they ran away.
Tactically withdrew. And you know what? Our direwolf here, that's right, he held them off while we went and secured like 100 more battles.
All the castles.
You guys won this one, but yeah, we got like all the castles.
All the castles. It's okay. We'll just buy them back later, folks. We just buy them back later. Wow, this was crazy. That game went pretty long. We were supposed to take about an hour and then do questions, and then maybe get a second game. I feel like maybe we just take questions at this point.
I think we just do questions. I'm kind of mentally exhausted.
Yeah, that went back and forth. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys were enjoying that. But
thanks, chat. By the way, that last
thanks,
like,
chat.
oh, supposed to get 1 more point. Can't even cheat your own game. Jesus.
Right. You wrote it. Can't even cheat. Keep them honest. Keep them honest, folks.
That's hard to do with all those cameras everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're watching your hands. We know.
So we're going to take a break. I'm going to put the hold screen up for a little bit while the guys get something to drink, a little bit of a snack, and I move cameras around. So we will be back momentarily.
Right on. And then we'll take FAQ time.
Yep.
All right, thanks, chat. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, we're back. I'm Adam Harry from Bell of Lost Souls. If you're joining us, I'm here with Michael from CMON. We just got to play an awesome game of A Song of Ice and Fire. The tabletop miniatures combat game was a blast. We wanted to talk a little bit about the game and kind of break down what happened, and then take some questions from chat. So if you have questions, feel free to start loading them in the chat right now. So
it was a full lot of mental fatigue there.
Yeah. I think it was more fatiguing for you because you had to explain a lot of stuff to chat. I know from personal experience when you're playing and talking and explaining rules, the gymnastics you have to do in your mind are even more.
Well, it's fine. So. Just like my hatred for the Lannisters was just slowly building, and then Rob just decided, peace, I'm out, and then that was my troops. Whatever, you know, they had their little morale hit, but
they did.
I as a player just
deflated a little. Yeah.
Rob, I was counting on you.
Well, let's talk about that real quick, because we were just kind of talking about this off camera just now, but that play really came down to, I had the tactics card that had a trigger on short range, and I was thinking in my head, hey, I could use this right now on Jamie's unit, because it would have triggered on the Sworn Swords. And I could have got some guys back and made the unit a little tougher, which would have been cool. Because I did have the -2 on them as well. But I figured if I charged instead with Jamie into the Sworn Swords, then Rob would actually be in short range, and I knew that you wanted to get him in there, so it wasn't a complete accident.
Well,
but you designed it, so I blame you.
So one of the things I will state that, you know, I get playing the Starks for me is very dangerous because I'm a naturally just aggressive player in a lot of things I do.
Right.
I like to be very sneaky and subterfuge. I like the Lannisters.
Yeah.
But when I ever get an aggressive army, I go full tilt.
Right.
So playing as Umber is actually my preference, but I wanted to showcase off Rob today.
Yeah.
The problem is that I also, and I feel we got a lot of the maneuverability and things around there.
Yeah, we showed off a lot of cool stuff, yeah.
But I also feel that I let my aggressive tendencies get the better of me a lot of times when I should have just, again, I acknowledged it several times throughout the game.
Yeah, you did.
That I'm playing into the Lannister strategy here because I know Jamie is all about counterattacks and punishing you for coming after him. But I did it anyway and just thinking, I'll power through it, whatever. And then there was a lot of times where I should have just taken a moment, repositioned myself, gotten some wounds back with, you know, the wealth icon and zone there, and just planned a little bit ahead. But I just really wanted to like go in there and start kicking Lannisters.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I also really enjoy just playing combat heavy smash your face armies. But I really had to. I was sitting on those tactics cards and I'm reading the cards. I'm like, these are not how I play normally. Like I had to really think and look at the tactics card and say, this is the way this army plays, especially with Jamie. It's a lot of counterattacks because the charges that I did get with the guards, they kind of bounced.
Yeah,
it's just they were not very impressive on the offense. And again, I know dice, but
it's still at most you're rolling 6 dice hitting on 4s. I mean that's not great.
Yeah, on average statistically you're looking at 3.
Now, if you are an aggressive Lannister player, you can take like House Clegane and go that like kind of sub-faction route.
Yeah.
Which I think would be much more your style, but
yeah,
at least when we were talking about.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be if we had the time, we were definitely gonna play another game and swap out. Man, I would like to see some just pure smash face too.
Yeah, Great John Umber versus the Mountain.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Berserkers versus Mountainsmen.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah,
there's a lot of solid plays on your end though. Like again, with the Berserkers getting them taken down, playing your tactics cards at the right time, just to show exactly how important those Lannister tactics cards are. Because in a straight up fight, their guys will lose most every single time to the equivalent side on the Starks.
Yeah,
like that's just how it's going to work. So Lannisters need to be sneaky.
Yeah.
If you're playing and you want to be that sneaky player with a lot of those options, Lannisters are for you. If you want to play the I'm going to hit you in the face so you're dead Lannisters, invest in the Mountain and House Clegane.
So, quick question about Bounce. With the other character stuff that could come out eventually, are you looking to keep that theme of the houses that way, or would you want to sprinkle in some stuff like, Cersei's -2 leadership to like House Stark? Is that something?
We don't want to homogenize the factions.
Right.
Each faction needs to have. This is primarily what they do.
Okay.
You can build them with like these little offshoots, but even if you build a House Clegane army, your focus is still going to be messing with enemy morale. They just do it through incorporating vicious and more attack penalties there.
Right. So they have the same effect, just a different way to deliver.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's the same thing with like Starks here. Their whole bit is, you know, we get better as we take damage, and that's really represented by House Umber. But the Starks in general have that effect, but they also have the mobility aspect of things, which Rob just kind of cranks up to 11 there with all the stuff you saw.
Oh, yeah.
Now, his unit being in your back right there, I was feeling super confident when that happened. Like, this, because it's bad. To get even one unit that's now in your rear and everything, because he could have started just plowing through guys.
Which was why I went after those Outriders so fast. I knew just relying on my armor was what was going to get me through the day.
Yep.
And I knew that my morale is not the best. Like, 7s, for the most part, is not super impressive.
All it takes is like one vicious attack and, you know, and you're knocked down. The Outriders are one of the most fragile units in the army. Granted, they're not the most expensive. They're 6 points. It's an investment, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But losing them early definitely hurt. Yeah,
it took away some of that speed, some of the options, because I had that other unit of guards, of the Lannister guards on the far end there. They didn't really do a lot this game, but they did give me some objective points, which, again, went to the objectives.
That's the most important thing they could be doing in the game, period, is getting objectives.
Yeah. So, and hanging out. They just were there. So that was pretty cool.
So as far as, like, things I definitely could have improved in that game, again, like I said, I let my aggressive tendencies get ahead. There should have been a little bit more foreplanning, because I have the speed on you all day long. Even without a lot of my effects, I'm already faster than your guards once I was taking your guys down. I should have been playing to the objectives. Because even that second round, I moved my berserkers off the objective just to go up and start attacking. And that's the thing. You really got to play to the scenario and the game mode that you're doing. That one is all about collecting those points. Because as you saw, it came down to final round, and you getting one more point than me. Well, technically tying up there. But if I managed to actually like just stay on those points and got those 2 extra points, the game would have ended a round earlier, and it would have been hopefully in my favor. You know, there's a lot of variables there, but it just goes to show what's important. I focused on killing guys, and that is one of the factors that ended up costing me the game. I should have taken the points, held them there, and played to the scenario.
And it's just, I think that just is good balance, though. It's like when the objectives actually do matter. So good stuff. We got questions from chat.
Do y'all know if the second starter is going to be released?
I do know. That's also information we're not going to share.
So, but hey, it could be on the way.
We've got some questions about campaign rules. Are there plans for that?
At a later date, we're going to look in campaign. There will not be any at this present time or launch. But we will get them out because we know people want to play things like that. Well, sorry, it's one of those things we'd like to do. There's a ton of stuff we want to do, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all on the list.
Right.
Yep.
We have run into a few issues where both players have reroll effects. In many games, you cannot reroll a previous rerolled dice. Does the same pertain to the minis?
As we actually just covered in this game a couple times, both die cannot be rerolled more than once by each player. The active player's effects will happen before the defenders. So as we saw, I think it was actually 3 times in this game that came up.
I like to think of it like kind of like a stack and like a to borrow a term from Magic, because that's where a lot of folks learned.
You said it, not an official representative, so that's fine.
But the way you want to think about it is, for instance, if it's your reroll attack dice. So the attacker's going to roll, they're going to go first. Do I have any rerolls? And correct me if I'm wrong here. Do I have any rerolls for my attack dice? Yes, no, cool. Defender's going to roll, or does the defender have any effects that are going to cause rerolls?
Yes, that's basically it. Most in 9 out of 10 times. That's why I said the active player, because there's some situations where it can be, but most of the time it's going to be the attacker. Attacker's going to go have any of their rerolls, then the defender's going to go have any of their rerolls.
So let's replace attacker defender with active player, responsive.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you just work it off that.
Yeah.
And it's 1 reroll per player, not per die.
Right.
Is that correct?
So, like, well, for example, if I'm going to charge while weakened, that's the most common time this is going to come up. I'm going to charge, because I've got a reroll on the charge, I'm going to elect to use any of my rerolls, and then the defender can choose to expend their weakened. This is naturally going to make things go in favor of the defender in these situations, but that's also by intent.
Okay. Was there any particular reason you want to get into about why you chose to do it that way versus having them just, like...
So yeah, that was actually something we had in some initial tests, was that rerolls would just cancel out. That was creating a lot of micro issues with certain interactions and things, and it was causing problems elsewhere.
Yeah.
That I won't get into because it's it's a long list, but that was something that came up.
So it was tested. Sounds like it was tested pretty extensively, and that's why you settled on this solution versus something else.
It's one of those non-glamorous parts of doing game development and design where you just sit there and look at math spreadsheets and variables and Yeah.
It's fun, right? Everybody loves spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrain can also apply to gameplay strategy due to characters like Hal and Reed, punishing those close enough to bogs and forests. Is this still a thing, and kind of what are your thoughts on all that?
Oh yeah, so like Howland Reed is one of the commanders for the Starks that we released from the Kickstarter, and he specifically has interactions with terrain.
Okay.
So the Krannigs and the books and everything are basically swamp people, and they're hit and run guerrilla tactics and things.
Sure.
So there are interactions like that. And again, we have an entire game mode that's based around the corpse pile terrain piece and the Feast for Crows. So that actually definitely comes into play. And there'll be basically any aspect of the game can be interacted with any other aspect. So you might have a certain commander. It's a point that actually just gives you extra corpse piles or something to deploy out. And also something to note on that same topic is that we have already showcased that we have multiple versions of the same character.
Okay.
So you might have a thing later, like that seems like a very Bolton-esque thing. So I'm not just hypothetically, because I'm not saying this is a thing, but you might have a version of Ramsay later that when you take him as your commander, you get extra corpse piles or something. Yeah. Or I guess that I was gonna say the phrase that doesn't make any sense for them, but just things like that. So.
Okay. So there's multiple, because we saw there's the commander version, there's also the attachment versions of characters.
Yes.
Question about the characters that are in Kickstarter: are those going to be available retail-wise?
Yeah. So there's no Kickstarter exclusive units or rules things in any unit. Anything that was given in the Kickstarter is an alternate sculpt or an early release thing. So that some of the units we gave away might not be in retail for X amount of time in the future, but they're going to be released eventually, or they were an alternate sculpt of something that currently exists. Okay. So basically, there's no such thing as this is the Kickstarter exclusive version of Jaime Lannister that does this. Right. He's only available in Kickstarter. That didn't happen. Doesn't exist.
And the reason you wanted to do that was because in competitive
in organized play and especially competitive play, you can't have units that were only limited access for some people and not others. Otherwise, those units get banned from play, and then
either nobody uses them or everybody that has them dominates, and that causes other issues. Yeah.
It's bad solution or bad solution.
Right. Sounds good to me.
Earlier rules had a morale test, so it seems now that retreats are auto success. Has that changed, or is that the same, or was that a misunderstanding?
I believe we actually covered that in update number 60 or 65, I want to say, in the Kickstarter. But yes, just to answer that right here, when you do a retreat, there is no morale test for retreating anymore. Basically, after testing some more, we decided that using your action to do so was enough of a cost. Because previously it was you had to make a panic test when you made a retreat action. Okay. And that basically discouraged anyone from ever doing it.
Right. Yeah. Why would you ever run if you're going to get your auto basically taking auto hits?
Yes. So in this case we retooled it a bit. So now it also used to be twice your speed. Now there's a little bit of a variable, so you're not just darting back. But it's also no panic test as well.
Yeah. No, I felt like it was a good compromise. Now you had the maneuver shenanigans, so you were rolling 6 automatically. But I did retreat once, and I did like the way it works, where you have your set distance you're going to make, and then because you are falling back, you have a little bit of randomness there too. So, yeah, it made sense to me.
How will you handle characters that identify with multiple factions but don't fall into mercenaries, i.e. Jon Snow as a Stark and Night Watch?
So some characters have multiple versions, and that can include cross-factions as well.
All right, I think...
Will there be specialty scenarios for large games, or for 2-on-2 games with multiple factions on each side?
So we do have multiplayer rules built into the core rulebook for playing on team games and whatnot. As far as specific scenarios go, I mean, if any major battle happened in the books or whatnot that multiple sides were teaming up with, then yeah, we can have for example, just the first one that came to my mind was when the Night's Watch and the Baratheons teamed up against the Free Folk. Yeah. Okay, yes, that happened. So yeah, theoretically we can make a scenario based on things like that. And of course, I have no doubt that there'll be a ton of just, fan-made scenarios and things like that. Sure, yeah. Even based on stuff we officially release, because someone might go, well, this is the Battle of Whispering Woods, but this is my interpretation of how we would do it. Yeah. So. But again, there's tons of content we can put out. We're not limiting to anything we do. We're not saying, no, we're only ever going to do this type of content. No, we hate team games.
We hate no fun for you. No, the way the scenarios in the book work too. We talked about this yesterday. There's the 4 or 5 scenarios total, but only one of them's kind of
There's
a little wonky with multiplayer. But the other 4 work great. You can still do multiplayer with the Siege version, right?
Yeah, and that's the Storm of Swords scenario, which is the Siege one with the attacker and defender. That's the way it's set up. But the thing is, you can do that one with teams. It's just, and it's not really that wonky. It's more of a thematic thing.
Thematically, yeah.
Of, you know, okay, so you've got 2 armies that are holed up in a castle. I mean, sure, it happens, but, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the thing is, with those 5 game modes, we have the additional scenario rules on top of those, which can modify them in ways like, if, you know, that Clash of Kings Siege mode, if you wanted to recreate the Battle of I guess the Siege of Riverrun.
Okay, sure.
Then, you know, that would have special rules, and, like, you're using these specific commanders, and you'll have additional layered rules on top of that to make it very specific to that, specific fight.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So multiplayer in the game, you can do it.
Yeah, well,
scenarios. And again, the system, from what I've seen, what I've played so far, the system itself really does support multiplayer stuff. It's an I go, you go system. Because the units are very, not similar, but the stats and stuff it works. Core-wise, mechanically, this game is really solid, so I don't see why having more players at the table is going to cause that big of an issue. That's what I'm trying to say.
And it's full alternating. I mean, there's rules for how, you know, you pass first player around, and it's still alternating, so everyone's going to take a round.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because even with multiplayers, the first player's just moving around, and then I guess you just pick your order, and that's what you're going for.
Yeah, and it's just
go down the line. Yeah, makes sense.
To expand on that discussion, will there be potential to betray your allies? Possibly in multiplayer.
Get a little red wedding action, huh?
Well, I guess that depends on the type of game mode you've chosen. Or, I mean, theoretically, you could be doing a free-for-all game and just choose to make alliances on the spot. I mean, you could do it like that. Or you could, I guess if you want, that's the way I would do it. Just off the top of my head. If you want to do it in a much less intuitive way, you could say we're playing a team game with the option to backstab. But that seems also, again,
that seems like it's just going to be a free-for-all game. We have some alliances, so
yeah, where we have rules that we know we're going to break.
Yeah.
So it really just seems in that situation, just play a free-for-all game and just say, hey, we're going to make these rules here where we can team up.
Yeah.
And we've got a rules clarification. How do you retreat when engaged on your flank?
You're always moving directly away from the enemy that you're engaged with.
Yeah.
And the way it actually works is that you are just moving directly away from them, your speed plus d6, and then you pivot on the spot.
Yeah.
And again, if you're locked in from multiple sides and you can't move, like if you're surrounded or whatnot, you have to legally be able to finish the move. Basically, that's how that functions.
Yeah.
So,
you can move through friendly units, but I'm assuming you can't move through
enemies.
enemy units.
So if I'm engaged from 2 sides, then my option is I choose one of those enemies and I'm moving directly away from them.
But if you're flanked on both sides, I pick Unit A, but Unit B is in the opposite flank. I can't directly move away from A.
You can't move directly backwards like that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a clarification on the question because I'm not exactly sure how to word it.
Yeah. So if you're surrounded on both flanks, you can't get away. But I guess if you have a third flank, you could the rear you can pick. Yeah. So it might behoove you to not.
Don't get sandwiched.
Yeah. Don't get sandwich is good for attackers, bad for defenders.
Yeah.
But don't.
Basically, don't get attacked by multiple enemies.
It's bad news.
I'm waiting for chat to kind of catch up. So I know we talked about it yesterday, but can you talk a little bit about the game development period? I know y'all spent a lot of time in making sure the rules were right, and we've got some new people in chat who weren't here yesterday.
Sure.
Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
So, every time I think about the amount of time, because it's like...
How long has it been, first off?
At least 2 years.
At least 2 years of development time.
No, that's been, that's not been full 100% development time to just this game, because, as a company, we work on multiple projects at the same time, but I'm just thinking back on all the different, versions of the game that we went through, from its different stages to initial concepts to, what it was to where it is today.
Yeah.
Lots of changes there. Which I know that doesn't really tell the whole story. It's like, things changed in the past.
Things happened. We wrote ideas down and then changed them for later.
Back in my day, things were as they were back in my day. So...
Can you tell us a rough estimate of how many versions you went through?
No.
No?
I know we went through 3 major, I guess call them major kind of styles of how the game was going to be.
Okay.
Initially, we didn't have the movement trace, and things were kind of a loose squad-based format.
Okay.
That didn't really feel right for the type of game and the setting we were going with. That's why I eventually kind of fell down into rank and file with movement trays, because this is very much a medieval style setting.
Right.
And, well, go figure, Westeros. And
that was the sword joke from earlier. Did you medieval use swords?
So
rank and file fit better for the setting.
Yeah, it fit better with the setting, fit better with how the armies actually played out. It gave the general feel that we wanted for the game, because, again, the most important aspect of this entire project has been keeping things true to the setting.
Yeah.
Because this is not our setting. Go figure. We're playing in George R. R. Martin's world here, and we want to. You have to be respectful of the creator and the source material above everything else. We are given the ability to come into his playground and do cool stuff with his things.
Right.
They're still his things.
Yeah.
So you have to be respectful with them and return them in the shape you got them in.
Yeah.
Which is actually a conversation about the banner sets in every unit, because everyone that was in all parties was just like, banners are the coolest thing ever. We want tons of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was one of the ideas. And the other thing was the visual representation, is that they wanted to see a representation of the mass battles that happen in the books, and like they wanted to be able to see something like that. Now, originally, that was described as hundreds and hundreds of miniatures on the table, which, okay, you can theoretically do.
Yeah.
But
the scale-wise that you're going for,
yes,
different. It's a different game to go from.
You'd be talking
8mm, 15mm on up
which
to.
That was not something we wanted to do here either. We wanted to keep the scale here.
Yeah. You need a really big table for 10,000 minis. Is all.
Now here's the thing. There are some people that might do that, and you can at conventions. We might have a cool big scenario. George Martin himself might just surprise everyone and go like, "Here's my army of 10,000 miniatures.
Here's 10,000 Dothraki." I don't know. It'd be bad times for whoever's playing against them, because that's a lot of models. But yeah, no, the game, it does scale, is another key thing.
Yes.
So you can, if you have that many models, you could play that way.
We were playing today with 30 points, a small size game.
Mm-hmm.
The standard is 40, large size is 50, but that's really just in name only. You can play 100 points if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And really, like, we've played some larger size games, and it's not that bad. It's about 10 units per side, which frankly I've played a lot of other games where I'm controlling at least 10 units per side.
It's not.
It's just, you've got to be prepared for the time investment. Now, granted, we played today, and it took us an hour and like 45 minutes to play. This was your first game. This was us chatting with going with chat and everything, and going through all that. Honestly, like, if we were just focusing on playing the game, this would have taken us an hour.
Right.
And most of the game modes are going to play, even if you're playing 50 points, because you're talking about adding 3 combat units, some attachments, maybe another non-combat, which I will say, by the way, 2 non-combats are usually my sweet spot. I know a lot of people will want to run 1. I know some players actually run 3.
Yeah.
To me, 2 is your happy balance there.
Yeah.
But your list is up to you. But point being is that even if you're playing like 50 points or something, you're going to finish the game in like an hour and a half, because you have more stuff.
It's hour and a half.
Things are going to die a lot quicker as well.
Yeah. So.
Got some rules questions. Can you fire ranged weapons into melee? If no, what about a melee that you're not involved in? There's kind of a cluster of questions about ranged weapons, so if you could just talk about that
That's
broadly.
fine. So ranged weapons you can absolutely fire into melee. If you fire them into a melee with friendly units, they all suffer a panic test, because you're shooting ranged weapons into us.
Why would you do that?
For ranged attacks, you do have to have line of sight to the unit, and all units do block line of sight, so you do have to have clearance there.
So, is there going to be elevation then for
there actually is a piece of terrain, the plateau, which says you ignore line of sight when you're shooting.
Okay.
And actually, the Stark Bowman unit that we showcased off yesterday or the day before on the the Kickstarter page, they can actually ignore intervening units when they shoot.
Oh, nice. Is that enemy models and friendly models?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So they draw.
But they still suffer that penalty of you shoot in melee, then you're going to suffer that panic test.
So just to recap, if you fire in melee, it's a panic test. Units do block
for all friendly units.
For all friendly units. If you units block line of sight, but there are rules and ways to get around.
Some weapons might avoid that. One of the armies that we actually were playing was you have Tully's Sworn Shields, who are a very defensive unit for the Starks. They just lock guys into combat, and then you have bowmen behind them just launching arrow volleys over them. Because the Sworn Shields do have a fairly good morale value of a 6. Theoretically, you do the same with Berserkers.
Yeah, but, Berserkers don't care about arrows.
Yeah, like, oh, you killed some of us.
Yeah. There's more. Yep.
Undead polar bears.
I'm going to default that one to if it appears in the books, it can appear in the game.
If they appear in the books, they could appear in the game.
Oh, I know why they're asking, because
Yeah.
a certain TV show,
Yeah.
I forget the name of it. They had undead polar bears.
They did.
Yeah. I'm gonna default that one to if it appears in the books, it can appear in the game.
Can you expand on competitive play and kind of what's going on with that, if you can?
It's planned, and we will have it.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously there's some questions that are still you can't get into too much. But
And we also need to talk that our retail release for our Kickstarter fulfillment for the game is in April of next year.
right.
And our retail time schedule is around that same area there. Not my area, unfortunately, to go over, so I can't give specifics, and I don't want anyone mad at me.
Right.
So
he just develops it, folks. He's not in the warehouse putting the boxes on the shipping container. It's not his job, so he's not responsible for that stuff.
they forced me to do it anyway. Help!
They
Help!
just get me out of there. It's a sweatshop. No. Yeah. So yeah, as far as like game mechanics, competitive wise, we talked about that a little bit. Can you talk about some of the design issues you've run into with the different factions, as far as like, how do you balance that stuff?
Well, so from day one, when we were first approached of like, oh, we're doing a Song of Ice and Fire miniature game. Okay. By its nature, that is a very the first concern that comes to mind is, all right, that's a very limited structure on how you can change things because they're all just guys in armor.
Yeah, exactly.
And
how do you make them all feel differently?
Exactly. And your baseline, because even if you look at the books and all that, the guys who are fighting for the Starks and the guys who are fighting for Lannisters, unless they were like very rare, they're usually just guys of here's a weapon, go kill those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, and if they beat you, then you're like, all right, I'm fighting for you guys now because that's how it's going on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really make for a fun game.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things when we sat down and designed the factions and everything, was giving them each a unique flavor and specialization, and then developing units off of that. So, with the Lannisters, for example, we wanted them to have this very uniform look, very regimental, because they can actually afford it. And we talked about this like kind of a bit at the start of the game. Yeah. The Starks, meanwhile, are made up of a bunch of banner houses. Yeah. So the Umbers have a very different look from the Tullys, who have a very different look from the proper House Stark guys.
Sure.
And so it started with kind of the visual aesthetics, and then it develops from there. Okay, this is what these guys look like. How would these guys fight? Or what's the mentality of the house? So Lannisters, they're better than you. They're wealthier than you. And so they have a lot of themes of, okay, like Lannister supremacy with the guards.
Right, yeah.
They know they're better, and that's going to be an intimidation factor that comes in. The Starks are obviously not going to have as much political game because they're up in the north, but they're going to be a hardier people because of the climate they're from.
Yeah.
That expands to basically every one of the major houses of Westeros, and actually even beyond that, if you look, just Essos or any of those other places.
Yeah.
You can look at the regions they're from. Like just showing, for example, one of my favorite factions in the show, in the book series and everything, is the Greyjoys.
Yeah.
So they're from the Iron Islands.
They pay the iron price for that.
They pay the iron price.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits, is that there's a wealth of lore and background to actually pull from.
It's like at least 20 pages.
Exactly, yeah.
Stuff.
You just got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
It would be very easy to go, yeah, they're all just guys.
Yeah.
That's like saying this game is all just, we would just push models around and roll dice.
Right.
Thank you for describing everything on this wall here and in this room.
Right.
Like, if you want to generalize it, you can do that. But you've got to get down to the specifics of it. And I will say that actually, this process started with, I'm kidding you not, like what felt like it was at least 6 months, and it felt like a curriculum class of just read through all the material and just familiarize with everything. Minor aspect of it.
Yeah.
The books, audio books.
Right.
The source book, the Song of the World of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
The cookbook for some reason.
Hey, man.
We just went through that.
Yeah.
And then now reread it. Okay. Yeah. Now you need to understand that, like in Clash of Kings, page 236, in the third paragraph, it talks about the Karstark spearmen being on the vanguard with their mighty tall oaken shields and their spears. Okay, those guys exist for one sentence, so that's something we can pull from.
Right.
And things like that. Okay.
How they fight? What does that look like?
Exactly.
What are the Karstarks like? You go back through all of that.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's just talking about the generic stuff there. And then, especially when designing the commanders, you have to sit down and really do like a character analysis of them and go like, this is Ned Stark, this is Robb Stark. Mm-hmm. How do they fight different from everyone else? Is Robb Stark really a good commander? Is he a good strategist? Is he a good tactician?
Yeah. Is he just better with a sword than everybody else?
Right.
Like, how does he fight? How does he win?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that continued. That was getting the baseline of those done, and that changing those aspects actually continued all the way up until even present, because you can always refine stuff more. Yeah. And that's the thing, is you always have your development and production deadlines. That's when everything stops.
That's basically when the line in the sand of like, okay, we're done. We have to be done with this.
Yes.
No more tweaking. It's going out the door now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about your relationship with Darksword Minis?
Oh yeah, so the Darksword Miniatures owns the license for Song of Ice and Fire, and we are sub-licensing through them for rights to make the game. And they're involved in every step of the way. They approve all the miniatures, along with the George R. R. Martin camp and all that. Yeah. So there's a 2-step approvals process. Darksword is involved in every step of the way.
Cool.
And has constant feedback as well. So all of our miniatures are in scale with theirs. So if you like anything that they have done, if you like their Robb Stark model or anything, they're fully integratable with the game.
Nice.
And of course, you can feel free to use those as not proxy models, because they're as official as anything we do.
Yeah.
So
if you have a Robb Stark from Darksword.
Yep.
Cool.
Are there any plans to expand to beach battles or naval tactic cards?
They want to do Blackwater Bay.
I know, but Beach Battles for me was just the volleyball, the big volleyball contest between the Starks and the Greyjoys.
Beach. I immediately think of Top Gun whenever someone's Beach Battle, because volleyball. Anyway,
sure.
So,
I mean, shirtless glistening. Robb Stark versus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the mountain. Just.
So no, seriously though, different. I guess a better way to put that would be. Different types of terrain do have different effects.
Well, if they're talking naval battles, they're actually talking different game. That's just what it comes down to. If you're talking about like moving to actually having
boat-to-boat combat,
yeah, that's not the same game we're making here.
Yeah,
that doesn't work with what we have here. That's a completely different game.
Yeah.
If you're talking about scenarios that are again kind of beach battles, you're talking about Blackwater Bay,
right?
Which yes, that is incorporated by using the various game modes and giving special rules to them.
Yeah, and again, the terrain functions off of a keyword system, right?
Yep.
So if you wanted to play a beach battle, you could use the keywords to define what the beach does to your movement.
Yep.
And
you can fully get creative. I mean,
that
keyword list is a suggested list. I mean, don't think that like, well, I wanted this to cause this effect, but there's no keyword for it.
Well, it is your game. When you buy it, it's your game. You can
don't say that.
Oh,
don't say that. We can't let people know that.
You can't have fun. You cannot have fun and make up your own stuff and play with them how you want. No, you have to only go based on what's in the book.
Well, some people believe that.
Well, I'm just saying, in all seriousness, though, when you are playing with your friends and you want to do custom scenarios, they're called custom scenarios. So, go nuts. That's my point of view. He might not be able to say that. He's an official representative, but I can say it. Go have fun.
Can you talk about the deluxe rulebook at all?
It exists. That's more of a production thing, so that's unfortunate. I don't have a lot of information on that.
Fair enough.
So yeah, just to catch up on the Kickstarter, we did offer a deluxe rulebook, which has work in progress art, 2D assets, and things like that, just showing the background and development of various...
kind of behind the scenes stuff.
Exactly.
Cool.
It has all the full rules for it in there, and then it's a hardcover book that has a bunch of like just cool extra art pieces and stuff.
Awesome.
Kickstarter, I'll say it was Kickstarter exclusive, so you want to pick that up in the Kickstarter if you want it.
Yeah. So, and real quick too, a lot of the stuff you're talking about, you can still go to the Kickstarter page for A Song of Ice and Fire, and check out a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
all the updates if you want to read back through that. But
yep, and you can late pledge now as well.
Yeah.
Which will put you into a later wave shipping, so you're not going to get it as quick as everyone else, but you will still get. You still can now get in on all the Kickstarter exclusive stuff and everything.
Okay. Cool.
Will the Tullys always be part of the Stark faction?
I'm never going to define anything as always, but they are part of the Stark faction now.
They are part of the Stark faction now, and again, you mentioned a little bit earlier that there can be cross-faction play for things. So.
Yes, but the Tullys are never going to be anyone. They're going to work for anyone else. They're Tullys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that the bottom line for that question is people want Tullys as their own faction. And the thing is, there's a lot of factions out there that could be their own faction, but it's may or may not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the nature of it. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
you could. I mean, if you have enough Tully units, you could make a Tully army.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. You can just play Tullys. Yeah, you're going to play with the Stark generic tactics cards, but if I'm running an entire army of nothing but Tully Sworn Shields and any other theoretical Tully units that come out led by Brendan Tully, I'm playing a Tully army. Yeah, I've got a card that sass Direwolf's Fury, but okay.
It's the Flying Fish's Fury.
Yeah,
just take a marker and
just River Runs Fury or something.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of the Kickstarter, will there be stretch goals at the Pledge Manager?
Nope.
Yeah, that's fair.
We've got some comments about hot pie.
Hot pie.
Yes, love these. Okay, so hot pie is the greatest thing in A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
And we unfortunately did not unlock the unannounced hot pie stretch goal on the Kickstarter, which I may have just made a bunch of people at the company angry for saying, because they didn't even know about it, because I never told anyone about it.
That's fair.
But yeah, hot pie is the single greatest character in A Song of Ice and Fire. Would have absolutely been overpowered as all hell in the game, and completely would have made everything superfluous. I mean, he just
hot pie, man.
Yeah, it's hot pie. Yeah. I mean,
you can't stop the hot pie.
You can't stop the hot pie, man.
Yeah, better than gold.
Can you talk about mercenary rules?
Yeah, so we actually covered those a lot in the Kickstarter, but they actually were revamped a little bit. You take mercenaries in two ways. One, you can play a full mercenary force, or you can include them into your army. And right now on the Kickstarter, you can see all the mercenary units that are available. There's units, there's commanders, there's non-combat characters such as Littlefinger, Varus, the Boltons. The Boltons make up the bulk of the mercenary forces that have been released, but they are not going to be the only ones. You know, just think about anyone in the setting that exists.
Anything in the books could end up as a unit.
Yes. And the thing is, like, basically mercenaries encompass anyone that was fighting for their own causes that would flip sides, you know, at a whim. So Freys, Boltons. These are not guys who are exactly loyal to anyone except themselves.
Sure.
Okay? Because, like, the Boltons, you know, and this is getting back to that hypothetical, you know, like, fan fiction generator or whatnot.
Sure.
If Daenerys came over there and started rampaging through all of Westeros with 3 dragons, do you think the Boltons are going to go, like, no, we stand with the North?
Right, yeah.
They're going to go, like, you got 3 dragons, we'll work for you. Yeah, that's fine. Can we be wardens? Or at least not get burned to the ground?
Right.
But anyway, so the way the mercenary rules work, and they have been tweaked from the Kickstarter, is if you are playing them like the full mercenaries, it's the same as it was before. You run only mercenaries, you have access to their specific tactics deck, and you can only take mercenary forces.
Makes sense.
If you're including them in your army, the only change that happened, and this is not an insignificant one, you can only include up to half your points in mercenaries. So you got to be at least, you know, playing your faction. You can't go, here's my one token Stark unit, and so I can run their deck, and then the rest is all Boltons.
So it's at least half that army has to be made up of your core faction.
Yes.
And then mercs can tag along, as it were.
Yep. I mean, significantly tag along.
Oh yeah, up to half.
It's basically it's to avoid the whole, like, here's my one unit of cheap sworn swords.
Yeah.
Here's all my mercenaries.
Here's my Stark tax.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
Sorry, you got to play the faction. You got to represent the faction you're playing.
Cool.
Is there a plan to move the 3D terrain out of being a Kickstarter exclusive, or is it just going to stay that way?
We have a strict policy of anything that is Kickstarter exclusive. It is a Kickstarter exclusive. We never break that. Now there is a chance that we, you know, have like alternative versions or something like that. We'll have to see, you know, how the popularity of them is and everything. But any of those pieces that you see, they're Kickstarter exclusive. We've since day one on any of our Kickstarters, all 28, nearly 30 of them, our exclusives are exclusives.
Yeah, which is why a lot of the models are like the character models aren't exclusive, but they're like early. You get them early.
Yeah, so we have basically 2 forms of models in the Kickstarter. You have early access ones, and you have exclusive sculpts. Now, noting the caveat, we did make it so those Kickstarter exclusive sculpts can be reliquated to organized play later, but there's no guarantee for that.
Yeah.
They can be prize support or organized play.
Sure.
So they might show up, but don't go in there, you know, arrogantly thinking like, oh, well, this is going to be available sometime. Like, it might.
Yeah.
It's a very firm might, you know.
Right.
Who knows? So, if you want it.
But those characters also have alternate options, or probably will at a later date. So,
well, they're just alternate sculpts. That's
right. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So I think we're getting close on time. Final thoughts, man. I mean, you've been working on this for at least 2 years at this point. It's shipping out officially April timeframe, right?
Our estimate is April.
It's for the fulfillments, and then probably retail stuff at a later date.
That's a side of things that I can't comment on because I just don't know.
Right. So I mean, but I have to ask, your baby here that you've been working on is finally getting shoved out. How do you feel about it, man? Are you?
Well, again, it's one of those things I was saying since day one. We're playing in someone else's playground here, so we just want to make sure we do it justice, and that's That's the whole thing. We want to make a good gameplay experience for people, so people have fun.
Yeah.
And we want fans of miniature games and war games to, you know, and just games in general, to be able to come into this and go like, man, this is really cool.
Yeah.
We want people that are fans of A Song of Ice and Fire to go like, man, this is really cool. I can recreate all my cool battles.
These guys look like the ones I have in my head. Yeah.
Yep. And if you're one of those people that crosses over to those genres already, we want you to go like, this is the coolest thing ever. This is both the things I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And now I just do this all day long.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is like we want to make fun experiences for people. And even like today's game, we created a really cool narrative for stuff that happened. It was not as necessarily the heroic showdown that we wanted to see.
That's fair.
But it's still a fun story. And creating those experiences for people, you know, from not only just one game, but just from your community of just, you know, hey, every weekend we get together, play this game, we have fun. Sure. That's the end goal.
Yeah. I think, too, in terms of rank and file miniatures combat games, like, this one, for me, mechanically feels really, really good. It's got some fluidity to it with the movement. It's not super strict on the movement, but at the same time, it makes sense. Like, intuitively, it feels right. So when you're moving stuff around, yeah, I just really liked it. I can't wait to get my hands on it now, too, just because he's going to take this away from me when he leaves, and I'm not...
You'll never see it again. Taking my toys and going home.
Yeah, I know. Abe, Stable Abe, one of the other regulars here, he is foaming at the mouth that he wasn't here for this. He was like, "No, I want to play that." So, haha, Abe, in your face. But I've really enjoyed the game so far. I loved being able to hang out with you for the past 2 days now, and I'm glad that no more Transformers exploded today. So we got lucky. Knocking on wood for that one, but it's been a blast. Michael, thanks again for coming by in the studio and hanging out. I hope to see you again when the game launches. Hopefully you can come by and we can have a rematch maybe?
Yeah, might see get some, again, House Umber versus House Clegane action going.
Yeah, right.
Or even, we might even have some more cool stuff then to show.
What? Yeah, we'll totally be keeping an eye out for this one. I think that's about it. I'm Adam Harry. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.
King Robert Baratheon, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, is dead. As the lands of Westeros descend into chaos, so begins the War of the Five Kings. Led by Robb Stark and Lord Greatjon Umber, the loyal Stark sworn swords will not break easily, bound together by their loyalty and courage. But their southward march means clashing with Sir Jaime Lannister and the Mountain himself. With their richly armed regulars at the ready, House Lannister prepares to bring the direwolf to heel. The amazing pre-assembled miniatures come ready to play and bring George R.R. Martin's characters and battles to life in vivid detail. Where do your loyalties lie? In the A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game, you are the commander of one of the great families of Westeros. You control regiments of infantry and cavalry, strategically positioning your units across the battlefield to best coordinate your attacks and accomplish your objectives. Beware, Commander, for this is no ordinary war game. With these elegant and streamlined rules, you must balance your strategic skill across the arena of warfare, politics, and tactics. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game features 5 distinct game modes, each thematically unique and highly replayable. In a Game of Thrones, control political hotspots for unique abilities and victory points. In a Clash of Kings, one player declares siege against another. In a Storm of Swords, managing reinforcements and resources is key. In a Feast for Crows, the bones of the dead instill dread into the living. In the Winds of Winter, players go after secret objectives, engaging in subtle bluffing and deception on the field. However, the choices you make are key to your success. Will you march one of your units for maximum maneuverability? Or charge headlong and strike your opponent down where they stand, risking failure? Or will you instead use one of your non-combat characters to claim a critical behind-the-scenes political maneuver before your opponent can? Each area claimed on this tactics board gives you an immediate and powerful benefit, but also potentially unlock more powerful effects from your tactic cards. The rules of battles are simple and brutal. When attacking, gather dice equal to your unit's strength, and strike at your opponent with every die that rolls high enough. But your opponent will try to stave off your attack with their own strength of arms. For every hit that goes unblocked, a soldier falls. So steel yourself for the worst. As your casualties mount, your units weaken. With every rank lost, a unit's strength is reduced. However, it is not strength of arms alone that wins the day, for the morale of your soldiers must hold firm. If the course of battle breaks the resolve of a unit, soldiers may flee. And when steel is not enough to carry the day, you can rely on the political resources of your house. With 10 faction cards and more provided by your chosen commander, your tactics deck holds a number of options to rout your foe's forces. Battles across Westeros can range from small-scale conflicts between a few units to large-scale wars with hundreds of miniatures without ever complicating the rules. A Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game comes with 103 pre-assembled miniatures, 9 movement trays, cards, 1 tactics board, 10 dice, 2 measuring sticks, 48 tokens, 1 rulebook, 1 scenario book. Gather arms for your king and march forward to decide the fate of Westeros. Available now.